ready.
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome. On this Feel Good Friday, February 3rd, 2023, the sports show starts now. Football! He's heading into its Pro Bowl weekend. Obviously, it's been a celebration all week out there in Sin City. Last night, there was a skills challenge that we'll be chatting about for years. Oh, yeah. Is this what the future of the Pro Bowl looks like? Will they make some adjustments, some changes? Or is this what we're in for all the greatest players in the NFL? It was a blast to watch. Some things I think they'll obviously have to change going forward for people to take it a little bit more serious. But all in all, a lot of good times are being had in Vegas. I'll be out there for Sunday calling the flag football games. There'll be 3 of them on Sunday on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus, Disney, and like every channel they own pretty much.
Okay.
We got 3 7-on-7 or flag football games. Can't wait for that alongside Kirk Herbstreit. Pete Davidson will be there without a microphone. Snoop Dogg will be there with a microphone. Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, all the boys will be there. Cannot wait to chit-chat on Sunday. Then we're live from Radio Row for Monday through Friday with guests lined up and packed to the gills. We can't wait to chat with everybody and celebrate the year that it has been, not only for us, but for the entire NFL. Wrapping up with, obviously, the Super Bowl next Sunday between the Chiefs and the Eagles. It's a beautiful day to have an incredible Feel Good Friday. The Toxic Table's here looking a little bit different today at Ty Schmidt and at PMI Mitt. How you doing, Mitt?
I'm doing fantastic on this Jordan day. 2-3-23. I got my 23s on. I see you got yours on as well. I think Ty has some Jordan flip-flops on.
I do.
So I'm doing fantastic. It's a great day.
It's great to have you. Boston Connor, I believe, caught the same thing that I had. Started to have it yesterday. Told him he should go fucking home. Said, oh, it's just allergies. This morning he tried to come in feeling terrible. He went back home. He'll be good by next Monday, I do believe, when we're live in Arizona. Rest up, bud. We miss you. Hey, we miss you.
Well soon.
Same with you, Dirty. We miss you, pal. We'll see you on Monday in Arizona. One half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. Tone, you're looking fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So are you. What a shirt that is.
Yeah, the wife got this for me. You know, after the Super Bowl, we all take a break. It's our first break since the season started for a couple weeks. Now, obviously, I got a taste of that on Wednesday when I was at home battling the bug that came inside of me and then exited through my butthole numerous times.
Right.
I don't love those days off, but after the Super Bowl, after a season, we'll enjoy it. Going to Hawaii with the wife. Wife got me a little. This is how you could dress up a tank top.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
And it's like a towel.
It looks breathable.
Yeah,
too.
it looks unbelievable.
It's warm. It's like got a warm, like a hug
like a hug,
feel.
yeah.
Is it too much? Maybe.
No.
No.
The wife got. I appreciate that, boys.
Not at all.
A lot of people say that's part of the problem with this show, though.
What do you mean?
What do you mean talking
Because,
about?
yeah. Everything's good. Everything's good. Everything's good. Everything's
Everything
good.
is good.
This, I think, is good. Though.
Yeah.
No, that's
I'm a
great.
big fan. Maybe this is the new look going forward because I still got the tank top on underneath because it makes the neck feel good, makes the arms feel good, but also dress it up or dress it down a little bit, especially when it's freezing cold outside. This thing, although it's probably meant for Hawaii and warmer climates, felt great outside in the cold as fuck Indianapolis,
I bet.
Indiana.
It kind of
Cannot wait to get to Arizona next week. Cold of 40, high of 70 every single day we're out there. Mornings and nights going to be chilly. During the day should be fantastic.
right in the sweet spot. It kind of reminds me of the jacket you wore when you called Oregon State and Florida.
Oh, yeah, the gold one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was lied. That one I got at Target, I do believe.
Really?
Yeah, it was little Vegas boys, me and Herbstreit doing our
Target
thing.
fucking delivers, dude.
It does. Used to more with Mossimo,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now he's in jail.
Right.
Him and the Chrisleys doing the same amount of time, I do believe.
Yeah.
Now, he was backdooring money to get his daughter, who's not educated or smart enough to get into school. And the Chrisleys were obviously just, fraudulent on everything.
Yeah.
In jail for 12 years.
Oh, boy.
That is so long.
It's a lot of time.
Can't fuck with the IRS, though.
They
can't.
do not enjoy that.
And they're adding IRS agents, I do believe. So it's not like you're going to be able to get around them going forward. It's like the taxes, you're going to have to pay those. And if you don't, you're going to have to pay for those.
That's exactly right.
And that's how it all goes.
If I read correctly, they're adding them for people who make a lot of money. So, like, if you don't make a lot of money, you're fine.
No, Tone, yeah.
You
See,
should probably still pay your tax.
No, see, Tone, what you're doing here is, I think, what a lot of people do is they read one particular political party's take on something, and then they don't read the other political side's take on it, and then you're just getting kind of one end of the spectrum, I do believe. Everybody's getting fucked is kind of how it always goes, but it's always painted in different lights, I do believe.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest here. You know, you can think that you're going to be the person who kind of slips through the cracks. Try it. Don't pay your taxes. See what happens.
And there's some that do, I guess, way at the top.
Oh, yeah.
And we would love to find out how they go about doing that. But I think the amount of money you need to have to get to that level is something that's pretty unattainable. Just had breaking news in my ear. Mossimo out of jail. Okay.
Really?
Let's
Already?
go back to making tank tops, pal.
Oh, yeah.
Let's stop trying to get our dumb daughter into school. Let's fucking start making tank tops again. That guy had my entire wardrobe on lock. I would travel to a city. I wouldn't pack anything. I would just go, hey, before we do anything, I got to stop by Target. I need to get underwear, I need to get socks, I need to get a tank top, and I need to get shorts. Then I would just go home, take it off, put it in a pile, put some clothes on, travel to a new city, need to swing by Target. I'm stopping by Mossimo's tank top department. I'm getting shorts, getting socks, and then I'm off and running. Talking hundreds of Mossimo tank tops. I was probably a massive part of the problem when it came to the back dooring of his daughter to get into USC because of how much money I put into old Mossimo's pockets. It is nice to hear that maybe he'll get back to the basics, back to the fundamentals, back to designing the most comfortable tank tops of all time. Speaking of all time, how about the greatest of all time behind the glass, the boys, Evan Foxy, Viva Lazito, Frankie Miralda, who turned another year older this week.
Wow. Congrats.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, boys. Way too much has been made of the birthday, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Not enough. I wasn't here. So if I was here, probably
A lot of catching up to do.
Way too much.
Yeah. AJ really hammered it home for you. Don't worry.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Yep. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Thank you, guys.
Happy birthday, Nick.
It's very nice of you.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Thank you, Pat. That felt genuine. The rest felt fake.
Whoa.
I'm gonna be honest. That one was probably the fakest one I've given you all week. So I'm happy I've still got the fastball if I need it. Big shout out to Bruce Bronovich is over there. JC the barber came through today to kind of trim us all up before we have to head off to Arizona. I'm gone for the next week. I don't love that.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned it. I mean, figuring out what you're going to pack. You know, this isn't just 1-2 days out of the house. You have to pack a lot of clothes when you're gone
A lot of
for a
different
week.
bullshit too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of Radio Row. I got a lot of meetings next week too. Super Bowl is always it's always a culmination of the entire year. You know, not just obviously on the field, but off the field as well. And the fact that we've been able to go to Radio Row the last couple years.
4 years, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
Last
not
year-
no COVID year, but
Last year vastly different than every other year.
big time.
So fun.
The FanDuel stage last year was just so big, so absurd. And we assume that we were a massive part of fans being banned from Radio Row going forward.
Probably.
100% our fault. Foxy reminded us just last night that we had a Wiz Khalifa concert last week.
Oh, yeah.
Or last year at Radio Row. This year is interesting because FanDuel has their own FanDuel TV lineup. They'll be live from the same stage that we'll be live from.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe Kay's show ends 4 minutes before our show is set to go live.
Interesting.
So I don't know how that. It's going to be awesome. Cannot wait to see how it all pans out. Cannot wait to see all the guests. Cannot wait to hear the storylines that really become the story of the Super Bowl. For instance, is it going to be the Kelsey Bowl? Is that all we're going to talk about all week? Is somebody going to retire next week out of nowhere? Will somebody get traded next week, which is pretty likely to happen from what it sounds like from Rappaport? And let's dive into that a little bit. Last night, Derek Carr put on a show at the Pro Bowl Skills
he
Challenge.
did.
He was slicing and dicing in this quarterback carnival in which you have to hit targets. Now, it is he, Trevor Lawrence, and Tyler Huntley on the AFC side. On the NFC side, it's Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith, and
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff for the Detroit Motor City Lions and everything like that. So Derek Carr put on an absolute clinic in his own practice facility, his old practice facility. Ryan Clark and the NFL Live crew were obviously the ones commentating and doing the interviews throughout this new, fresh take on what the Pro Bowl and the Pro Bowl games are. In the interview that Derek Carr gave after the clinic that he put on with Ryan Clark really stole some eyes because Derek Carr makes a joke about the situation he is currently very much in.
On fire. Have you ever been that hot in Las Vegas?
Not that hot. It's probably why I'm going somewhere else.
What a line, Derek. What a line. incredible line. I think we all know what it is. February 14th or 15th, he's owed over $40 million due to the contract that he's in. He said that he will not be changing that clause in his contract to help facilitate a trade or anything like that. So whoever's trading for him will have to pick up that $40 million. I do believe there's a chance they could cut him, and I think the Raiders will get it, but no conversation has been about that. It comes a time when it comes time to move on, and that's this time. I have a no-trade clause, and there's a certain date money is guaranteed or I'll be a free agent. There have been convos between Dave Ziegler and my agent and me from NFL Network, introspective and reignited. Derek Carr on his future from Cameron Wolf. Interesting phrased tweet there from Cameron Wolf, who normally does an incredible job. Derek Carr's on the move. Is he going to Tampa Bay after Tom Brady's retirement? Is he going to the Jets? Is he going to the Indianapolis Colts? And I'll tell you what, after what I saw last night, I know that this was something that we all mocked and ridiculed, including me. Let's not put a blue jersey on Derek Carr just yet. Looks like the old boy still got it. Looks like he's got a chip on his shoulder. Look like he's handling all this well. What do you think about Derek Carr and his future, Ty Schmidt?
Well, it's crazy how much can change in a week. Like Brady retires, and now that, Rap Sheet told us yesterday that if Rodgers or if the Packers want Rodgers back, then it seems like he potentially is going to stay in Green Bay.
That was breaking news.
I agree because
Rappaport had no idea that was breaking news.
Right, and because the narrative has basically been that if the Packers decide to move on, then he's gone. Not, hey, if we want him back, he's 1,000% back. So I think a lot of Packers fans were like, okay, this is awesome. Kind of gives you more ammo to think that, hey, he'll be back in Green Bay next year. But if that happens, Derek Carr is the guy at the top of the free agent carousel, and all these teams who maybe were looking at Brady or Rodgers and had their sights zeroed in on them. Now all of a sudden, Derek Carr kind of becomes the belle of the ball, and he's only 32 years old, which he's played for a long time, but it's not a 45-year-old Brady, it's not a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. If he kind of is rebirthed, you could see him playing somewhere else and having a back half of his career where he plays 8 more years.
And he has Wolverine blood. We saw him pop his hip flexor off of his body on a Thursday night and play the next Sunday. And that is literally the only negative thing we've ever said about Derek Carr. Whenever we basically said, hell of a run being a starter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I thought he ripped his groin. This was when Marcus Mariota, this was 2 years ago, I think, on Thursday Night Football.
Yep.
He was scrambling to the right, to his right, and then obvious pop happens in his hip. He comes up lame, and then he's off the field. Marcus Mariota comes in, drops a dime to Darren Waller, I believe, and then something else, and we just assumed, okay, this Derek Carr Raiders saga, because that's going to be at least 3-4 months to get surgery on that. He came back the next Sunday, has played ever since then. Won games we didn't expect him to win, has gone through a lot, obviously, with a team moving cities, coaches being fired, offensive coordinator situations. He was on an MVP run one of those years, and then in a game that I was playing on on Christmas Eve, gets his entire knee snapped like a chicken wing. There's a chance Derek Carr, especially after what he did last night, and I think not just how he threw, how he's handling it.
Yep.
Right.
Not being a little baby back bitch about it, joking about it in the Raiders facility. He showed up, did his thing. I think there's a chance that Derek Carr is going to be the belle of the ball all of a sudden in this whole traded quarterback situation, even though his cap hit is rather large.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like with that, in regards to that, if they cut him before that day, I think it's only $5 million for the Raiders. So and a lot of people are saying the trade seems a lot less likely now because of that cap hit and because of the time frame here in the next 2 weeks. But it kind of feels like a poor man's Matt Stafford situation to me, where obviously Stafford has all the arm talent, played well at times, obviously in Detroit, but that organization's a dumpster fire.
Was.
People
Still haven't made the playoffs, but
people forget the Raiders are very, very similar. They haven't won a playoff game in over 20 years there too. But then you look at it, the entire NFC South could use them. Literally every single team in the NFC South. The Jets, Titans, and Commanders potentially are the other ones that Colts too.
Need a quarterback.
I just figured they can't go down that road again.
Oh, we can, pal. We have 4 rounds of interviews going on for the head coaching thing. And I don't know if that's just delayed to maybe get a real interview with who they actually won, who's maybe still in the Super Bowl, and they've just been kind of passing the buck down the line or whatever. But they're going into a 4th round of interviews. And if you need that many times talking to somebody to find out if they're the person. Now, if that was how normal business was handled, I think we wouldn't be as alarmed. But this is not what normal business is like at all.
No.
especially with 12-hour interviews taking place. None of it makes sense. What were you going to say, Mitt? Obviously, close affiliation to the Raiders in the last couple of years.
Well, my dad does coach for the Raiders, and I do think that Derek Carr would be actually probably a pretty good fit in Indy or in any system that he can really run. He's proven that he can play, but he's just had gone through too many systems. No one really knows what the problem is with him, really, it seems like. So I don't really know where he would go. What I was going to ask you is...
Does your dad like him?
Does my dad like Derek Carr personally? Yes. As a man, yeah.
Okay, that's a big deal.
Okay, yeah.
That is a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's liked around the building. I know that.
That's a big deal.
Right.
These are big news. This is the complete opposite of what we've heard about some other quarterbacks.
Exactly.
And not that those quarterbacks are available right now, but just in general, whenever you hear somebody's not liked around a building, you have to start snooping around on what that means for the person as a human and everything like that. Derek Carr, by all accounts, I think, including now we're hearing from your dad, well liked by almost everybody.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a Colt?
Let's not rule it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if Aaron's allegedly going back to the Packers now, which is what Rappaport basically said. Because Aaron Rodgers said there'd be no malice if they decided to move on and go into the next era. He understands this is the way the business is. This is the first conversation that we had with him about the whole process. And then Rappaport just lets it leak out of his mouth.
Yep.
The Packers will want Aaron back if Aaron can come back. And I'm like, that's breaking news. And Ian's like,
I think
Is
it's
it?
out there.
I don't know if it is. It's like, yeah, Ian.
Never heard
Yeah.
that anywhere
Yeah,
else.
because Schefter, the person you were on a source off over the D'Amico Ryans was in Denver before he was in Houston thing. He was saying, like, hey, he's going to get traded. And we thought that was coming from Green Bay, who was acknowledging that it was time to move on to the Jordan Love era, which is a difficult decision, tough decision. I mean, hindsight will prove whether or not it's the right decision or not.
Yep.
Obviously, that program, not the building, brand new building. All the people making the decisions are brand new people. But that team has gone through the Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers saga. Now they're potentially, I think Aaron's trying to make it a lot easier if it's going to be the Aaron to Jordan Love thing. The Aaron one worked, had a lot of success. Will the Jordan Love one work? Only time will be able to tell. But it sounds like Green Bay is going to want him back. That's big news. That is massive news. I think that Ian just let slip out of his rap sheet mouth.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, this is just kind of me thinking when you watch all this stuff happen. I don't know if they 100% know if Jordan Love's the guy, because I think if they did, like, there's going to be a laundry list of teams who would trade for Rodgers. Like, Ian mentioned that yesterday. That's just common sense. Like, there would be several teams who would want to trade for him. So if they were 1,000% committed and okay, and like, yep, we've seen enough, Jordan Love is the next guy, then they would have traded Rodgers almost immediately, or at least got that ball rolling, you would think. And now from the sounds of it, it's like, well, if he wants to come back, like, we want him back because we know that he gives us the best shot to win.
A lot of people are thinking Josh McDaniels is Mitt's dad. That is not Mitt's dad.
okay.
Mitt's dad is a man that's about yay tall. He's special teams coordinator named Tom McMahon. He was my coach in the Indianapolis Colts organization, which is where I met this fuck whenever he was just a young little ball boy equipment manager. But Tom has been around the NFL a long time.
16 years.
16. That's a long time.
Yeah. Maybe 17.
A lot of buildings. Okay, don't disrespect your dad.
And I think this year was his 17th year.
Okay, congratulations,
Okay.
Tom. Just a Montana fuck through and through. We're talking,
Hard-nosed.
Rancher.
yeah, didn't he used to herd wild horses?
Yeah, they did have to break a couple horses, but no, they ran a horse hunting and fishing expedition, so they would take people on like trips and stuff.
In
But, yeah,
Montana.
in Montana, but yes, they would have to break wild horses. They wouldn't have to catch them, but like they'd break them.
Yeah, as a kid, he was like, I don't know enough about your family. Your dad has a lot of brothers and sisters, right?
One of 16, yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus
welcome.
Christ.
This is a working family.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say creating kids to be workers.
Need
but
ranch hands.
yeah, this kind of, that is where his dad came from. Dad was riding horses when he was like 6, 7, 8 years old.
Yeah, he fell off, when he was like 4, he fell off a horse into a creek, actually, broke his skull. The horse got his dad, and actually saved my dad's life.
Yeah, and now he has a metal steel thing in his head that you can actually ruin reception
Yep.
and knock on,
Yep.
and he still does. Assume
Thank
that's
you,
why.
horse.
Shout out to
Thank
that
you,
horse.
horse.
I
Shout
appreciate that horse for what Tom did for my life, and obviously without that horse, we don't have Mitt. And geez, what would the world
Need
be?
Mitt. Need Mitt.
But yeah, I assume
you.
that stunted his growth as well. You know, when you're 4 years old,
Probably.
you have your
Yeah,
skull cracked in the middle of a whole thing. But yeah, he's comes from badass family over there in Montana. Pretty good judge and read on humans, and I like the fact that he's saying Derek Carr's a good guy. Go ahead, Tone.
Could part of the reason I was just looking at Aaron's contract and like what Green Bay Packers could do if they trade him, it's $40 million in dead cap. Like, could that be a reason why they want to keep him potentially?
Well, certainly.
Yeah.
But that was known whenever they were thinking about maybe moving on, seemingly.
yeah, which
Right.
that's why I. No offense to Shefty, that never made sense to me because that's a lot of.
Yeah, but if you're going to, didn't make the playoffs this past year, just bite the bullet.
Sure.
Pretty much, and just here we go. We're moving on. We're eliminating ourselves from this, and we're going to do our thing. We're going to move on to the Jordan Love era. We got young wide receivers already on the salary, already on payroll. We got a young quarterback who only needs some experience. Might not make the playoffs this upcoming year. It'll be like a preseason year almost, and then on the other side, we'll have our money back in the salary cap. We'll have a year under Jordan Love's belt. Matt LaFleur and Jordan will know each other better. The young wide receivers will be able to build up their chemistry with Jordan Love. Defense will hopefully be able to grow another year. It's like Ty said, we didn't make the playoffs. I'm not doing this again.
Right.
Now is not the time to do turnover. And in my head, it was like, from the franchise
From an organizational standpoint, it absolutely makes sense. But yeah, as a fan, it's like, no, we have a fucking Hall of Fame quarterback who can still play. Like, I'm not ready. And, obviously some Packers fans are, but I'm not ready to. And that's what I thought when they signed him. You look at how much money he was paid. I think the idea was that, hey, if he's either going to play for us for the next 3 years or 2 years or whatever it is, and he's going to retire as a Packer so that, the cap issue never comes into play. Like, I didn't ever imagine that they were going to sign him to that massive contract, and then obviously you don't expect him to go 8-9 and miss the playoffs this year, but not once did I think, after 1 year, they're going to reassess this, and they're going to be talking about trading him.
How about a Pro Bowl games for Derek Carr, though?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Last night changed a very massive narrative.
Yeah.
Because him crying at the press conference, him losing, them not letting him in the building, that was very disrespectful. Hey, your dad, I guess he's kind of a part of that. Now, there's a lot of things that happened at the Indianapolis Colts that Tom McMahon was not happy about. So acting like every coach is on board with everything that goes on would be a lie and not true at all. There was times where things were happening with me behind the scenes where Tom McMahon was not fucking happy. Like, I would have to hear from other people that would have to hear from Tom about something that's happening with me. And I hadn't even known that this had been happening to me yet. Tom had just got wind that I was getting fined for some tweet that I was definitely not going to delete. And Tom knew that this was going to be a whole fucking thing. Why are we doing this? So Tom's marching his little ass around the building. Why do we have to fucking piss this guy off? Why? I have to deal with him. Why the fuck are we doing this? So Tom is not on board with everything. But the way the Raiders handled that at the end, borderline disgusting.
Yeah, for sure.
It was awkward, and it felt like the vibe of the city. It felt like the whole
Derek
year.
Carr became babyface
Big time.
through that whole thing.
Yeah.
First,
Especially with
in
last
my
night.
eyes, in my eyes, he did.
And when I got to go out there for Thanksgiving, and I was just out there for a couple days to see my family, and the vibe around the city and just in general the organization just seemed a little off with Derek Carr. And then he turned babyface when they seemingly kicked him out. I feel like the media might have mishandled the situation, and within the building it could
now
have been
it's
handled
our
differently.
fault.
I mean, the
Okay.
local media of how it was reported, like we don't really know how the inside the building
Mitt sits down at the talks table and says, wait, I have some tea to potentially chit-chat about. Mitt, you don't need to be breaking any of these news to get your dad into any shit, but that is a fascinating take that maybe everything that we heard wasn't the actuality. But last night, the way he played, the way he threw, the way he handled himself, it's like I think you got a lot of fan bases going,
I love this guy.
all right, fuck.
Yeah.
This guy isn't a big baby back bitch like we maybe thought he was.
Got a live arm.
He does have a live arm. And the dangling one from the drone, that's seemingly the easiest one for these guys to hit. They've hit that one pretty relatively easy.
Yeah.
Gino hit that thing pretty easily.
Yep.
Derek hit that thing pretty easily. The one-pointers, that's a tough
That was
throw.
the hardest one.
And it was only 1 point. And Derek was just literally
Picking him off.
peppering those things. Now, what you're watching here is Derek at the quarterback carnival. Precision passing is what they called it. This is in the Raiders practice facility. So obviously he was a part of building this whole facility and everything about it. Zero awkwardness. Peyton Manning did some great coaching. Ray Lewis was out there doing his thing. Eli was out there. The whole NFL Live crew. Him missing his deep shot was the only thing he did wrong last night.
That's right.
He should have knew that ball was going to tail a little bit. A little bit going to tail, but I think Derek Carr had a big night for Derek Carr's brand last night.
He had a very, very huge night, and that was similar to the throw that he made against the Steelers that D-Butt broke down on everything DB, where it did accidentally tail a little bit on him. That's something that could happen.
Well, that one went left.
Yeah.
This one went right.
Well, he's got a tail.
If that ball that he just threw was the ball in Pittsburgh,
touchdown.
That's
baby.
a touchdown.
That's right.
And he's probably allowed in the building the rest of the year.
Yeah, they may make the playoffs potentially.
You know who else performed very well in that one? Tyler Huntley. It was good to see him. No, I'm not being sarcastic.
No, yeah, he was
because a lot of people were like, "What's he doing in the Pro Bowl?" And he came out fucking slanging around.
So he was fourth alternate, and we got to remember, if you're in the NFL and you're a quarterback, you're a better football player than all these fucks that are not
100%.
in the NFL. And there's a lot of backup quarterbacks around the NFL that can sling it. There's a lot of guys that cannot make it into the NFL that are on practice squads who can throw the pill. That bodes well for the Sunday flag football games in which Huntley, Derek Carr, and Trevor Lawrence will obviously be playing quarterback against Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, and Geno Smith. Tyreek Hill's out there.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams is out there for the AFC side. You got Justin Jefferson on the NFC side.
I don't know if Jamar Chase is there.
No. Sauce Gardner, though, is there, so he'll be on the other side of the field. I mean, I think there's a chance that we get some highlights on Sunday.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it would be pretty cool.
I think there's a chance. Now, I don't love that not all the guys are in this. I think last night there were some points that are a little bit too Mickey Mouse for me.
I agree.
Like, I think it was a little bit too gimmicky in some parts. But I do like that they're trying to at least get creative. I assume it'll settle in. You know, this is like the first year of them trying to evolve the Pro Bowl to make it something that players want to go to and make it something that is still worthy of celebrating the greatest players in the NFL. There was some shit last night that was like, come on, why do you didn't have, like, you don't have to always, almost like the ESPN, like you don't always have to do the most Mickey Mouse thing.
There are more than just 10 and 12-year-olds watching this.
Exactly. Like that is something. So I think there was some of that. But overall, I like the concept and the idea of let's have a good time here. Now, I don't know what the money is that guys on the winning team are getting paid out. I don't know if they're matching that for a foundation or for a philanthropic donation. I assume we up both of those. You might be able to get Josh Allen out of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am and into the Pro Bowl. But I think we got a less Mickey Mouse, some of the less Mickey Mouse shit. Not that all of it was.
No.
Little less Mickey Mouse shit. A little bit more compensation because everybody's viewing it as a business. And people at home are going to be like, they already get paid enough money to get the Pro Bowl. It's like, okay, well, yeah, they make the Pro Bowl every fucking year, guys do. So their legacy's already cemented. To keep them interested, let's make sure we think of it just how is the NFL making any money off of this?
I would assume so.
Probably.
Oh, they are. Is ESPN making any money off of this?
I think so.
Oh, so the guys in it probably are thinking, we should probably make some money off this. Not that they don't, but if you up that with a donation and everything, I think we're on the right path to saving the Pro Bowl. Not that last night will be what it is every single year, but I like that they're trying to explore the space, as A.J. Hawk will say, to make it a little bit more entertaining. And I think those flag football games are going to be something that's going to be good, but nobody had a bigger night than Derek.
No, flag's going to be sweet. I thought the golf was cool. But yeah, there's definitely some other ones you could probably replace with some things that maybe would be better.
I didn't understand the water balloon thing at all. Optically, it looked terrible.
And also, you have to find something that showcases showcase these guys' strength, these linemen.
So that might happen on Sunday.
Potentially.
Yeah, because I got a question. To ESPN's credit, this has never happened before, and who knows if they'll listen. They sent a text to us, and I mean, it is what it is at this point. Like, we're a pretty okay-sized piece of the fabric of the NFL now. Our show is, okay? We are an NFL show. We're pretty, I mean, it sounds very arrogant, so I don't even want to say this because there's obviously a lot of other shows that have a lot of other things going on. We're a pretty good piece of the NFL story, I think, year in and year out now. Very lucky to be here. A lot of hard work from all the boys. I appreciate the hell out of the opportunity. but them actually reaching out and saying, hey, what did you and the guys think of last night? And I said, let's just see how the weekend goes, and then we'll give our – now, will they listen? Who knows? But them even going like, hey, what are your thoughts? I appreciate. So on Sunday, let's see what's happening on Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, and then let's kind of see how it all takes place. But I think they are trying just fucking everything and then seeing what's good, what isn't good, because all parties would like to keep the Pro Bowl as something that people hold in high regards.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
The water balloon thing, I don't think they're ever going to get me. I don't think you're ever
No.
going to sell me on that. I don't understand it.
And I might be in the minority, but I think the dodgeball thing's kind of played out too. Like there are always some pretty cool moments from it, but I still think that there's better stuff or there's cooler stuff or better
Dodgeball
ways.
was awesome.
I
I don't know
just-
why they're playing against each other, though. Like, they
Yeah.
were playing against each other to see which side of the ball represents against the other team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that was explained well enough then, because if you were just turning it on, you saw NFC guys hucking balls at each other. I think that kind of, you know what I mean? I don't know how you fix it, but I also don't know if that's the right play. I think the dodgeball is entertaining, though, mostly because the guys are all very competitive and buy in.
True.
Yeah,
True.
I mean-
If you can get the boys to buy in to anything, let's do it. You know, like I'm with it. The dodgeball, I will always enjoy. I will always enjoy the dodgeball. I didn't enjoy them going against each other first and maybe not being explained why they're going against each other, because I'm calling it on Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand what the fuck was going on. And then kind of through the game, you go, oh, so they're trying to figure out who's playing the other one. You're kind of piecing it together yourself. So that might have been on the kind of the rollout of it all, but it wasn't a bad hour and a half of television. I didn't think it was a bad
I
hour.
think there's more games like dodgeball that you could do, like that are competitive and like are more
Football and athletic.
or more appealing to the eye too of the viewer. Maybe like, what if they played volleyball for a little bit? Like, wouldn't that'd be fucking sweet?
Volleyball
Potentially.
pretty sweet. Got to get guys that know how to play volleyball. though.
Sure.
Can't
I'm
get-
sure there's no
No, but like bowling.
bowling,
There's going to be more guys that know how to bowl in the NFL that are at the Pro Bowl than golf, probably.
home run
Yeah.
derby.
Like bowling is going to be something that I bet you see some dogs come out.
Oh yeah,
A lot of guys, you know, bowling is a real deal.
Jerome Bettis was a
I'm not going to talk about the amount of money I've seen lost at a bowling alley, but I've seen wages mount quickly at a bowling alley by two people that are very fucking good not as good as the guy who was just on PMT, Pete Weber.
Pete Weber. Sure.
Great to hear that story. What's that, like 20 years later?
Yeah.
He was talking to a fucking 13-year-old?
10 or 12, 13.
the who do
I
you
don't
think
know.
you are? I am.
He was
Yeah.
talking to a 13-year-old. That's Big Cat
Yeah.
asked. Yeah, Big Cat and PFT talked to him. Yeah, he was talking to a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
That is messed up. I did not know that.
Messed
no,
up?
no.
That's awesome.
Kid was talking
Awesome.
shit loud enough for him to hear it. He said, "Oh, okay."
Oh, is that right?
He said, "You can talk shit, don't you? I better not hear it."
Yeah, he said he flubbed it kind of.
Yeah.
What he ended up saying, obviously it wasn't a real sentence, but it is.
Right.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Yeah, all time moment.
God damn, yeah, it's greatest bowling moment of all time. But I think they'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, I think they'll be able to figure it out. I hope they will, because the Pro Bowl is something that, as a kid, I watched when it was in. Maybe take it back to Hawaii too.
I mean,
That would help.
You know, take it back
Have
to
to.
Hawaii. Hopefully, they're all in their own hotels, so you don't have to worry about other conventions and autograph hounds.
Or even their own resort.
Yeah, just kind of have it handled.
Yeah.
I think make it, if you want it to be treated like.
Well,
You know, that's
I mean,
kind of.
I was there for the last experience in Hawaii, actually, because the Colts staff, just the way it works out, the Colts coaching staff went. So I got to go for that. And they had their own private whole resort, whole thing. It was awesome. They had stuff to do. And then there wasn't any just outsiders coming in. It was an actual like speculation. It was fun. And then they moved it to Orlando and like somewhere else, Arizona. Where did you have to go?
Arizona, yeah. The issue with Arizona, and I love Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Going to Arizona next
Yeah,
week.
looking forward to it.
Probably going to move to Arizona at some point in my life. Hope the Cardinals figure it the fuck out. And Bidwell, we see your little blog coming after AQ.
Yeah,
It was unfair criticism of a guy who's been in 6, 7 different buildings.
that's right.
Who pretty smart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
AQ.
I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. And then showcasing everything that isn't inside the building as being upgrades that Bidwell came. Bidwell's got a burner blog. It's called Cardinals Update.
Yeah, yeah.
That took offense to what AQ said about the building. But we all saw it on Hard Knocks.
Exactly.
So
we
it's
did.
not like,
Look at Cliff's office.
Like, you guys look like doofuses. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Bidwell, that is obviously your burner, or that person is doing your thing.
Yeah.
Like, just upgrade the building. And if that's potentially what kept Sean Payton and Bidwell not being able to come to an agreement because the amount of money that Sean Payton wanted inside the facility to make some upgrades, like, hey, our team meeting room isn't our press room. Like, that is not how it works in the NFL. Like, that is not how the biggest league on earth that just signed a $110 billion deal last year that's only going to increase. Like, that's not how it goes. But I just think, like, if you want it to be held in high regard, you got to treat it in high regard. When I went to Arizona, I've told this before, we were at a hotel. We weren't the only people at the hotel.
Can't do that.
And everybody's like, oh, you spoiled athletes. It's like, I didn't give a fuck. Nobody had a clue who I was. But J.J. Watt couldn't walk. And couldn't hang out with anybody, couldn't talk to anybody, couldn't do anything without autograph hounds who were acting like they're at another convention. It's like the NFL is kind of thrown into the side and made it like a lesser product,
right?
And spent less money on it. And then now they're like, how do we make it a better product? It's like, well, you got to treat it as if it's a better product. And I think they're at least trying to do that. And hopefully that starts this year.
Well, because it seems like all the old stories you hear about the Pro Bowl when it was in Hawaii, like that was a big part of the allure, was like getting to meet and talk with the other like legends and players. Yeah, exactly. And like that you normally wouldn't be able to do in the season. And then we've also talked about it several times. Like there has to be some sort of, like, you need to make it worth these guys' time monetarily. You just have to, because
somebody's making money off of this.
Exactly. And anymore, like, you know, I mean, whether it's Radio Row or whatever, like, these guys, if they wanted, like they can go find that money doing anything. You know, they don't have to go out and basically treat it like another work weekend, especially when you're removed from the season. It's like, oh, do I want to go on vacation with my family elsewhere?
Who I haven't really seen for 5-6 months.
Right.
I've seen them, but have I been present?
Yeah, haven't got to spend any time with my kids or anything like that. Like, would you rather that, or would you rather a work weekend in Vegas where, again, you know, if it's not one of these guys who's very early in their career who still loves all that Vegas is, you know, like some of these older guys, like that's not a Hawaii for sure. It's like, oh, okay, I'll fucking go spend a week in Hawaii with my family. It's like a weekend in Vegas. I'm fucking 28 years old. Like, I've done this 1,000 times. I don't want to do this again unless they're going to fucking make it worth your while and your time and pay you.
It's business.
Yeah.
So treat it as such. But I think last night was a good start.
Yeah.
I think last night was a good start. There were some parts that were tough to watch.
For sure.
And tough to listen to.
Yep.
But
it's going to happen.
Overall, I think pretty damn good.
We were kicking around earlier, maybe some American Gladiator events, but I was thinking about it. I mean, people were just dislocating shoulders and shit all the time. That's too physical. Maybe.
Well, whenever 225 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal is coming down the pipe, like Malibu, you got no fucking.
But maybe it's like some Global Guts events.
Ooh.
Yeah. Why don't we get the aggro crag?
Exactly.
Mo.
Whatever they did in the pool with the kayaks.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Chuck said in paintball. I don't know.
Paintball would be
Paintball
awesome.
would be sick.
Yeah.
Now, I think we'd learn a lot about some guys.
Which would be awesome.
Yeah, extracurricular. Yeah, right.
3-point contest.
Then you have those big redneck fucks that are just like posted up.
Oh, they would be so good.
Mm-hmm. It would be awesome to kind of watch that whole thing. Speaking of, now, we are not a big, hey, you need to avoid that bet program. Because that is gambling.
Yeah, exactly.
Like sometimes people are going to get, that's gambling. That's what it is. And that has become kind of a toxic part of gambling internet.
Yeah.
Is just wanting to avoid everything that is not a bet hitting.
Yeah. Sometimes you lose. That's part of it.
That's gambling. We're trying to take all of FanDuel's money.
Yep.
And they're trying to take all of our money. Once again, have to restate this and hammer this home. FanDuel has zero ownership over anything that we do. They are our exclusive sportsbook partner, just like our exclusive beer.
Wide.
Wide lights.
Wide.
Okay? Just like our exclusive energy shot is 5-hour energy right there. Just like our exclusive ticketing thing is SeatGeek that is right there. So FanDuel is not our boss. FanDuel is not. If we talk about gambling, we are talking about FanDuel's numbers. That is the deal that we have. FanDuel is our exclusive sportsbook. Now, that's for now. Who knows how long that lasts? Who knows how that goes? FanDuel is our exclusive sportsbook for this pro. They do not own us at all like that. And also with this new regime, it's not been as easy for us to create as many things that it was in the past. So we would like to take all of their fucking money whenever we were betting. This year was not good gambling for anybody.
Nope.
But we are not hey, that needs to be voided. Joe Mixon not getting the ball in that game against Buffalo.
That's right.
Because he allegedly was wielding a gun in somebody's face the day before a fucking playoff game.
Crazy.
This is all alleged now, and his lawyer has come out and said that this charge will be dropped today, and this is all a misunderstanding. But he was clearly not on the field for that game. He was a part of one of our bets, and we were all so confused. Why? Mixon's got a C on his chest. He's a guy. He seems healthy. He is dressed. Why is he not on the field? It's come out now that he has potential gun charge coming out against him. Aggravated menacing, which is like violent threats, I think, in Ohio. That has come to the light. So obviously he was being punished or not playing. Something to think about there, because that is a piece of information that should we have known? Could we have known?
Nope, can't.
I have no idea there.
You know me, I am the most anti void bet guy that there possibly is.
No, a guy gets hurt in the first quarter. Void his bet because he was like,
everyone
that's
wanted,
gambling.
People were all tweeting that they should void the 40. And if you had 49ers money line or something like that, they wanted it voided because Purdy got hurt or whatever. But no, that's part of gambling. It's inherent risk, whatever. But this year, I mean, Mixon has 20 carries for 105 against the Bills, and then against the Bengals, he's got 8 carries for 18 yards. That doesn't make sense.
What is it? And he's standing on the sideline, fully dressed. What is going?
What's happening here?
That was a little bit of a weird thing.
That's extenuating circumstances. Okay, that's something that.
Once again, we have to say his lawyer has come out and said that this is all fugazi.
Yes.
And Joe Mixon, who's gotten in trouble in the past, for the rest of his life, any accusation is going to be taken much more serious because he's already been in trouble before. Like, that is just what happens when you get in trouble. For instance, if I was to get drunk again, people are going to be like, yeah, this is what Pat...
This is MO.
This is what Pat does because I got a public intoxication. That's just something I have to know about, that this is just how it's going to go. If you get in trouble for something very physical, very violent, very terrible, whenever you're younger, even though you've grown and changed, people will be able to utilize that going forward and hold that against you going forward for any accusations that take place or fabricate an accusation knowing that it'll probably be taken more serious. So we have to at least account for reality there on Joe Mixon's side. And obviously Joe Mixon's lawyer is going to say that this isn't real. That's what his lawyer is supposed to say. But allegedly today this is all supposed to get dropped. But this all got kind of dropped into the world just yesterday. Tom Pelissero just spoke to Bengals running back Joe Mixon's agent, Pete Schaefer, who says the misdemeanor charge against Mixon will be dropped Friday. Okay, so that's what they're saying. The other side of it said that there's an arrest warrant.
Right.
So I didn't know you get an arrest warrant for a misdemeanor. I had no idea that takes place. And is aggravated menacing a lower degree than aggravated threats? Like, I don't understand fully what's going on, but I do know that we got fucked by this whole thing.
Big time.
And the day before the game, why is this even coming up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on?
And how are we figuring it out just now? That is still what I don't. I mean, because if it's, same deal. If it's bad enough, I mean, they were still gonna. He still got some playing time. So it's like, why is there a distinction between, hey, let's give this guy 20 carries, or, you know what, let's keep in mind he allegedly or potentially was swinging a loaded gun in someone's face, so let's make sure we only give him 8 to 10 carries. He doesn't get 20
Yeah, how come he
carries.
gets some carries but not too many carries? You can't be the star of this game, but we definitely will
We're
need you in some parts.
We're going to need you on third down.
I mean, that doesn't come in like a coach's manual.
No.
Right.
Like Zach Taylor doesn't. All right, so if you have he wielded a gun in somebody's face and said, I should fucking shoot you. Now, I understand you're saying it didn't happen, but I'm just telling you what. We were just called by the Cincinnati fucking police.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had a whole game plan. Remember, you were going to run the full.
Yeah, 25 carries.
So Zach Taylor's talking with the team. What are we supposed to? We don't know if it's true though. So if we fucking don't, it's the biggest game of the year. So if we don't dress them, everybody's going to ask about what it is, and if it gets dropped.
Give him enough carries to make it seem like.
But he can't do too good because if he does too good, then it's going to. Oh, Joe, why?
What are you doing?
How did this even? What a scene. Very scary. Can't be happening.
Ooh.
His side saying it didn't happen. Their side saying it did happen. But that definitely affected us.
Big time.
And everything we had cooking in that particular game.
Yeah.
And a lot of people gambling. I wonder how they're going to treat all this shit going forward, especially with people gambling on games. People's money being a thing. is going to change a lot. I think it's going to change the officiating.
Yeah.
I think this week was a big week for the officiating getting changed in the future. And although it had to take some ridiculous and absurd turns to get here, I'm happy with the place we landed, in which I think they're going to be changing the officiating and how it's treated going forward. Great news. Even though we had to deal with some of the stupidest members of our society yelling at us, calling us sellouts and crooks.
Does gambling be the thing that actually makes officials full-time?
Yes. I don't think it's... I think gambling. So I think this is a ripple. This is hot. I'm sweating. This thing is...
Does its job.
This thing's great.
Looks sweet.
Really nice.
This thing's really cool.
Good material.
Especially if I get, like, jocked.
Yeah.
Imagine me just with this on, no tank top on underneath. I'm going to look so cool.
Fucking Miami Vice.
Big old sunglasses on. Hey, what's up, boys? I think the gambling leads to people getting more pissed off, more vocal, which then the NFL has to kind of put the fire out. Because whenever you have your own money on it and you see fucking a ref obviously screw something, that 3rd and 9 is going to be it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The 3rd and 9 is going to be it. And Gene Steratore, who I fucking love that man.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I loved him when he was a ref. I was able to talk to Gene Steratore from day one as if we had been friends forever. Now, Western Pennsylvania Paisan, I had talked to him 1,000 times in my life before meeting him. I understood he had a personality. I understood who he was. I understood how he would take some things. But I think the first thing I said to Gene was like, hey, what's up, fucking Paisan or something like that? And he goes, Patty. You know, like, that was immediate. Like, literally the first time we chatted was on a field. I think it was maybe my first or second year in the NFL. And it was just like a quick give and go. And I always chatted with refs. Always. I think you can ask any ref that I always chatted with them because they were right here behind me on a punt. Kickoff, obviously, I'm dealing with the ump. But every time I go out to punt, ref right here. We had a lot of onside kicks, too. A lot of surprise onside kicks. So a lot of refs coming up to me before games. Hey, if you're going to hit one, can you please give us a heads up? Because we'd like to be able to keep an eye on everything. Hey, you got it, you got it. There was a lot of that type of stuff. So I had a good relationship with all the refs. I was not scared to tell them, like, yeah, you fucked one up there, pal. You know what I mean? And whoa, what do you mean? 2 series ago, you fucked that. Hey, you owe us. Oh, Pat, fuck off. Then I hit a shank, you know? You know, like it was a real, I feel like I had a good relationship between the refs. Gene Steratore was always an incredible speaker, always an incredible communicator, which I think is a trait that every ref should have, especially the old white cap. You know, Hockey League, great communicator. Gene Steratore, one of the greatest. Clete Blakeman, great. Hussey, great. Not that Hussey and his crew were always fantastic. Hussey's a great communicator. He has some sense of confidence, which you have to have whenever you're in a one shot with 50 million people watching and you're a representative of the league. Yeah. You are a representative of the game, of the sport. I think Gene kind of alluded to that Ron could have handled that differently. Because Gene said, in my backyard, you know, here we're playing football. Afterwards, we go, how long was that play? 17 seconds, we need to do that. He said, that's real easy to kind of do in the backyard with 42 million people watching in the moment in the playoffs. Like, how do you do that? So it's like Ron did fuck that up, I think. The way he handled it, he fucked it up. Now, should that ref, who was not even supposed to be calling that, came in hard with a whistle and stopped the whole thing before it even starts? Probably, but Gene explained that wasn't even his fucking job.
The other guy.
He was just kind of looking out. So it was a misexecution by one person. It was like a half-ass save job by the other one. And then Ron, I don't want to say he panicked, but just tried to do what he thought was right, which led to a fucking extra down, first down in the fourth quarter. Very important and crucial part of the game. And now the game's fucking rigged. So they're going to have to figure all that out. But that 3rd and 9, I think, alongside gambling, will be what I think hopefully makes officiating better. And it sucks that the Bengals fans are the ones that had to go through that and be on the receiving end of it. But I think for the good of the game, it'll come out on the other side much better.
Yeah, you hope so. The only concern would be that if we don't have full-time refs next year, like, I mean, the NFL is definitely acutely aware of all the stuff that is happening on social media, but then they also get the report of how many people watch the game. And then they're probably going to get the report of how many people watch the Super Bowl. And it's like, yeah, people are pissed. People are going to talk. But ultimately, like, it doesn't affect the bottom line at all. Like, look how many of these fucking rubes bitched about this all last week, said they're never going to watch again. And then, you know what they did? They tuned in and watched the fucking Super Bowl.
I'm still getting people telling me that I'm, you know, I don't want to say the exact words they're saying.
Oh, no.
But they're saying things about my mouth and the NFL. And all that. Have some breaking news. City of Cincinnati requests to drop charges against Bengals running back Joe Mixon.
Oh.
Congratulations, Joe Mixon.
There we go.
That's a big weight off his shoulders, I'd assume.
That was quick.
That's a big deal. Yeah, well, his lawyer did say, hey, they're going to be dropping this thing by Friday. Just became public, fucking 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Or yesterday. And this was 2 weeks ago. So I don't know why this hadn't happened in the last 2 weeks. Why did public pressure have to be the thing that made him drop the charges? And why, Zach Taylor, didn't you trust your guy?
Yeah, what the hell?
You think Johnny Mixon was lying? Give him the ball.
Come on. 12 more carries.
Oh, Zach Taylor doesn't trust his players. Oh, okay. That's what I'm. Hey, Joe, did you fucking wield a gun in somebody? No. That's not what.
That's not what they're saying.
They're saying you said I should shoot you is what you said. Is that you? Do I look like an I should shoot you guy or I will shoot? Good point. Good point. We're gonna give you the ball because we don't want anybody to ask any questions, but we can't give you the ball too much. P. Ryan's gonna be in there more than you are. You will be fully dressed because if you're not dressed, there'll be a lot of questions. You can't score though. Okay.
Yep.
And you can't have you doing.
Not draw too much attention.
We're gonna try to get by. That is a funny little thing, but congrats to Mixon getting that. That's a big deal getting that drop.
Yeah, especially given his previous history. Yeah, for sure.
But once again, with his history, he needs to realize
this shit's
you cannot even dance in a situation where any of this is possible because it will just automatically be assumed as true.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to fight an uphill battle against it forever. That's reality, and that's just what he needs to know.
And wasn't he going into a year where basically they were talking about cutting him to save like about 11 mil on the cap? I know he's going into some sort of contract situation. Like this cannot be good for him.
I think he's okay.
Yeah. There's 1 year left, and there was talk that they could save about 10 or 11 mil if they cut him.
And I think they would have cut him if he would have had the aggravated menacing charges fulfilled. Arrest warrant for a misdemeanor is crazy.
I think the charges weren't filed until yesterday.
He stayed in his house?
I think that's why it became like public knowledge then.
So Zach just got texted by somebody that they were thinking about potentially facing?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Because it doesn't make sense why Mixon was standing on the sideline so much. Wasn't hurt, but it would make sense that it comes directly from this. I guess we'll just have to keep our ear to the ground, and maybe an insider who never gives us information will give us an information.
Yeah, unless he accidentally does.
It is being reported here in Indianapolis that there is a potential house for sale.
Oh, really?
Really?
That is of somebody of importance.
Oh, really?
Huh.
Zito, how do you know this news? You just sent me in a Zillow link.
So it's on Reddit right now. So it says that he's moving to a different house, but yeah, he's selling his house right now.
So allegedly, because the audience does not know what we were talking about, it's happening in a cell phone text message conversation between me and Zito right now. Allegedly, Chris Ballard's selling house.
Whoa!
I will say though, cool jersey he has up.
He does have a very cool jersey in that room.
There's a number 1 jersey hanging there. I don't know if that's
awesome.
Mine or if that's
the one they give out.
The hell?
Oh,
man. Jeez, you just put that up.
That's the second time that's happened.
That thing's been hit a few times.
That's
I don't know if that's coincidence, is it?
So
Jim, I can't do this anymore.
I'm a text. I'm the person, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
you got family, kids in high school. Is that normal to just?
I don't want to give away too much of our private conversations here either. Like he loved that neighborhood too.
It looks like a beautiful home.
Beautiful fucking.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I wouldn't want to move
It's an
out of
awesome
that house.
home.
Hey yo. I'm just gonna call him. Can you mute my mic?
And these ones. For sure.
Yep.
Haven't talked to him in a long time. First time, long time here. There's no way he answers. This isn't a good start to the Feel Good Friday. Guy selling his fucking home. No answer. That seemed like a fuck you there, didn't it? Let's go to Conti.
come on, Conti. Come on, Conti.
I mean, that's a big deal. This means a lot.
For sure.
This means Jeff Saturday's head coach. That's, I don't want to look too far into that.
Right.
Come on, Conti.
When he answers, mute, obviously. Yeah. All microphones.
Yo.
My sources have told me that he is either in the process or finished building another house.
Okay.
All right, so Chris, God, thank God.
That actually means more.
That's great news.
Yeah.
This is incredible news.
I love that, man.
Holy shit. Jeez Louise. I just saw so many things happen there. Zito sends that Zillow link in with a screenshot of the house, and he goes, drops in my ear, Ballard's selling his house. Oh, fuck, what just happened? I'm happy we got to the bottom of it there. He is building, or is finished building, another house, so it doesn't, let's all...
Okay.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's get to a break.
Yeah, exhale.
All right.
Exhale.
All right.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Okay.
Well done.
Chris Ballard did not answer his phone call, though, and I would assume that will continue to happen.
Well, he's in hour 14 of an interview.
Jeez Louise. Whew. I was about to pick up a show and move it.
Yeah.
If that was what was taking place.
Look at us breaking news, though.
Hell yeah.
I think so. I think we did.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's some breaking news. Chris Ballard's house is beautiful if you're
Yeah.
looking to buy
I was
one.
going to say, if you're in the market for a new home.
Hey, Aaron.
Pretty nice.
Aaron, there's a beautiful new home on the market. Has football walls.
It does.
Has football walls. There's a couple of them. There's a $35 million Italian museum for sale downtown.
Yep.
Too. I already said they'll let them rent it for free. I do not know the person that owns it, but if it's going to get us back to the Super Bowl.
Italian?
Yeah, it's
I
like,
can put out some feelers.
I don't know if the people who live in it are Italian. I think it's like an Italian.
Italian designer.
It's still in the registrar, either way.
I hope. There's not a lot of Italians out here.
No, I know. It's going to be very easy to find.
Or not find. I think that's most of the Italians that are out here trying not to be found.
Yeah.
You run into a paisan real quick. Hey, what's your name? Mark McAnthony. Really?
All right.
That doesn't sound like a real name. What are you doing? Yeah, real name.
Fake mustache.
What do you do? Oh, I just been in landscaping. Who'd you rat on? You?
Okay.
Sounds like you got some.
Yeah.
Sounds like you did something.
Got some
somewhere.
bodies somewhere.
Shout out to the Italians. Okay, that is no offense. That is real, though. Indiana's got fucking none of them. I think it's because there's no rivers here.
Could be.
No way to really move much.
No.
No offense to...
Also, no good food or...
Well, that's why, though, I think. I've said this before. I'll say it again.
True.
If you can be in a city where there's Italians, you live in a city where there's Italians. The food's better, the culture's better, and the entertainment is mightily better. Might have to deal with some stuff, but you're already dealing with some stuff. They've already got that stuff figured out for a long time.
Exactly.
These new people trying to figure it out are trying to emulate what the Italians have done. So you might as well just go with the vets in that whole
You're
thing.
true, though. Do need water.
That's my only downside to Indiana is, well, the driving is terrible.
Horrible.
The roads are despicable.
So bad.
But there's no Italians out here. So that is a tough thing for the whole... That was a culture shock for me.
Very big.
That was a culture shock for me, actual. Oh, where are we going? Italian. Where are you going? Fazoli's.
Which?
Don't.
One of the greatest Italian eateries of all time, obviously.
I will say my palate has... That is the problem with Indiana, though.
Exactly.
Piping hot breadsticks, baby.
Palate has had to adjust, and
An Italian man owns the franchise, though.
no, he doesn't.
Vaseline.
Yeah. Whose given name was Carl T. Howard Zelli.
Boom.
None of that is
Italian man.
Checkmate.
There is some part of it true that there's no Italians out here. Another part that is true, Chris Ballard's building another home.
That's right.
Congrats, Chris.
Congrats on the new house.
Congrats.
All in.
Hey, out with the old, in
yeah.
with the new. That a baby, Chris. Proud of you, bub. All right, let's get to a break. AJ Hawk will be on the other side. We also have Shams, who hits on Kay Adams every single time he's on Up and Adams.
Bingo.
And also has all the NBA news that we need. Allegedly something brewing today in the NBA.
Whoa.
That's a little bit of a teaser. Now, we are an NFL show, but we love Shams Charania.
We do.
So we love giving an opportunity to Shams to educate us on what's going on in the association because he does it better than anybody else.
That's right.
Shams Charania will join us. Also, Pat Williams, the brand new chairman of the Waste Management Tournament.
Wow.
Hey.
Will join us in about an hour and a half to chit-chat about next week's Waste Management Tourney. And remember, we don't know that if we're doing anything.
That's right. That's right.
Nope. We don't know anything.
No.
Everybody get your thespian cap on. I'll be able to do that because I was in the NFL for 8 years, obviously. So everybody get your thespian cap on. We will be very surprised by everything that the chairman of the Waste Management Tournament, who is asked to deliver this information himself.
Okay.
Very nice of this guy.
We'll knock him off his feet.
I didn't ruin it.
No.
Just yesterday, as soon as I heard about it, going boom.
No.
We didn't hear that.
No, we didn't. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Bingo.
Me either.
Let's get into that scene
Yep.
right now. Be a friend, tell a friend. We're back in 5. Take 5. Let me tell a tale about this little blue can. Inside there's a nectar love from here to Japan. It's a vibe, it's a time, ice cold or with lime. So sublime.
This shit is divine.
It's the beer of choice when you wanna rejoice. Hey yo boys, what's the noise? Hey yo boys, what's the noise? Well, us and Bud Light have made it a fish. We bring the stoogery, they bring delish. Feels like a genie just granted us a wish. Cause for all of us, it was love at first sip. Now be a bud, tell a bud to grab some Bud Lights. Go and Drizzly Code is what? $5 off tonight. Go and Drizzly Code is what? $5 off tonight. Cause if you're living life right and you're drinking Bud Light and you wake up in the morning and you fight the good fight, then you're doing A-okay, doing A-okay. Matter of fact, you're doing great no matter what they say. Now, be a bud, tell a bud to grab some Bud Lights. Go and Drizzly Code is what? $5 off tonight. $5 off tonight.
What?
He's saying don't go off the top, it's too shallow.
See that belt buckle?
All you're going to hear this stadium do is they put the big paw up, they start shaking it, they go, whoa. Hey, what things are going good, Mason?
Yeah, he loves the defensive side of the ball. He said yesterday to me that this is a blue-collar team. They win it on special teams. They have 5 block kicks this season. The defensive side of the ball, Lynch leads the Big 12 in sacks. But also on the offensive side, Denzel Mims is an absolute animal. He is a weapon. Charlie Brewer, the quarterback from Lake Travis. His dad was a quarterback in Texas. Yeah. His grandpa was a quarterback in Texas. And the people here in Waco just so happen to get a chance to see Charlie Brewer on a daily basis.
Okay.
Hey. Yeah, boomer here is going to mean a little bit different than what it means on the internet currently. And hopefully here in Baylor, they hope they're not hearing a lot of boomer sooner. Everybody wants to be a punter, including quarterbacks. If I was a quarterback, I'd want to be a punter as well. 0 yards on that punt. That's an embarrassing situation. The Dak dance that gets on national television has led to a lot of losses, but you got to respect the hips being able to. What sign am I going to make for college game day? Well, I want to make something creative. I want to make something fun. No, to hell with it. I don't like OU. It's so thick. Look how thick that thing is. That's years and years of patience. You're heading right for the boat. Right now? Okay, let's do it. We are out here on the Brazos River, which you can take a boat to the game. One of the only stadiums in the country that you can do that. It's beautiful out here. A lot of people would say, this is the last time I'm going to be on game day. The last time I allegedly did what I'm about to do, I ended up in a jail cell. Let's go! A lot higher than I thought.
You killed your glider.
You look like Ric Flair. That was a sellout, by the way. That was beautiful.
Do we have any other shirts? Yeah, hold on.
You need to go get changed before you get sick.
Great work, Russia. I'm actually not that cold. Hey, I went for it. My chest hurts. That's full commitment, by the way.
So active. Oh, look at this. Body slam. Body slam. Sammy Zayn. Wayman used to kick himself in the face. Are you kidding me? Now he's body slamming Sammy Zayn.
When we talk about situational football and awareness here in overtime with the Buffalo Bills and the biggest play that was made here, before this play even starts here, there's a lot of conversation happening on the back end. What are you telling folks here?
They tried to hide this formation, what I was talking about. They came out in a 3-by-1 bunch, but they end up motioning back over to a 2-by-2. And one of their main concepts down here in the red zone is a laser Dino, which is a double post concept to try to clear out that safety to make that void in between the numbers and the hashes. Obviously, I knew that. I saw 85. He's pretty much the clear out guy. And with me having great vision on the quarterback and the receiver, it gave me an opportunity to make a play on the ball.
Dahn, that's it. Okay. We win. At what moment did you say, oh shit, we won? I'm going to get down.
Soon as he threw it.
2nd and 10. Allen steps up and throws an interception. Patrick Peterson. And in this heavyweight bout, the Vikings with the knockout blow. The Vikings win the game of the year.
What are you going to do to change and make Tua better? Have you gotten into that? This is very early in the whole process, and you're shaking hands, kissing babies right now, and you're a 0-win head coach that everybody loves.
0 wins.
0 win. But what are you thinking about that for Tua? How do you make him better?
We're going to start with scoring more points than the opponent.
Wow!
Holy shit. Oh, no.
You are changing the game.
Changing the game.
Yeah.
Through math.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I think there's... I was just so fortunate in my career to be around the process of how I look at things with the empowerment of the right teachers that I look backwards, forwards, okay? What things do I see that are really awesome about his game on tape, even though we're at...
he's accurate as hell.
Boom! That's what I was just about to say.
Oh, I didn't know. I was just... you were leading me. That's how... You should do this, maybe.
Dude,
think about it in the future.
Dude.
But he's so accurate.
Or we should just spend the time finishing each other's...
sentences.
Oh, okay.
Hey, have we known each other for...
our whole lives?
Oh, my God. You tell...
me?
Wow.
This is weird.
Dude.
Whoa, seems like you guys just became.
Dude.
Wow, this is fucking weird, AJ.
Bro.
Hey, this is...
Did we swap skins?
Wow, we learned a lot about yours, by the way. I mean, this Chiefs team, man. And everybody talks about how AJ picked the Chargers because how good the Chargers play the Chiefs, and that was the point. That was evident yet again last night. And shout out to the Chargers having a fucking great game. Now, 2 minutes left in the game, the way you go about scoring there and thinking about Patrick Mahomes on the other side, down 3, it's a whole situation there. And who knows if you could take things back, you score that quick. And did the Chiefs let them score that quick? And we're happy they scored that quick. Who knows? They're in field goal range. You do your thing. You have to score. Not taking a shot at Staley at all. Just saying interesting situation for them to end up in, for us to have to talk about, because you give Patrick Mahomes that much time to come back. You obviously know at this stage of his career, at this stage of life, Patrick Mahomes is going to make plays. Not only running, obviously, but the dude he's got playing tight end for him in Travis Kelce is the best football player on any field that he's ever walked onto. Now, he's high-stepping on one touchdown. This one, he's breaking tackles and skirting into the end zone. But they go up 4 after the extra point is kicked there late in the game to beat a division rival. Travis Kelce is fucking unguardable. Yeah. He's unstoppable. And whenever they need it and got to have it, and we're getting getting to that point of the season. Look at this high step. The picture that he has, he posted on his IG story, and the caption he put on there is high stepper. He's up to 11 receiving touchdowns this season, tied for the most in his career. He's on pace for a career high in catches, yards, and touchdowns this season. He's 33 years old, and he now has 33 games with 100-plus yards or more, which is more than everybody who broke Gronkowski's record. He's going to go down as statistically greatest tight end of all time.
Yeah, the guy's unstoppable at this point. You can't. Like, you can do whatever you want. It's not going to happen.
We now have a returner who they kick the ball away from. That's incredible. I mean, what Keyshawn has done in the short amount of time. But look at this guy. I mean, it's not like being on a kickoff team is tough. He just ran around like 4 guys there, starting the other side of the 50. It's pretty impressive. He had a bunch of great returns. I saw he's had 8 30-plus yard kickoff returns, and we only had 9 like in the last 3 years or something crazy like that. And he's only been doing it for, what, the last 8 or 9 weeks? You probably like that tackle there, didn't you, Pat?
Yeah. I like the old submarine dive in there by the kicker. But also, did you see, I was just pointing out Bisaccia. Bisaccia's running down the sideline with him.
Can you circle it?
Yeah.
Right
there.
He is.
Right there. And he had been sprinting literally down the whole sideline, and then the pile gets over here, which it's a spark. You know, a big return is like an immediate juice. You guys have never had that. And at the beginning of the year, I don't think the Bisaccia effect had fully taken place. It feels like you're in a good spot now in a phase of the game that you haven't been for, what, like decades almost?
Well, I would say the last time you felt really, really good about a returner back there was probably young Randall Cobb. You know, his first game ever, he returned it like 108 for a touchdown. You know, Micah Hyde as well was a good returner for us. I think he returned a couple punts for a touchdown. But kickoff return, man, that's been a long time. It really has. It's been a lot of like, no. Oh. And now it's like, bring it out, Keith. Bring it out. Come on.
The guy that didn't even stop after just Deboing your head coach, let's get him the fuck out of the building. I mean, unless he just hates McVay, which we need to maybe look into a little bit more. I'm sure he wouldn't not know that happened. Maybe he was trying to get as far away from it as possible. But whenever he didn't stop, I thought to myself, whoa, are the Rams?
What the hell's going on here?
What's going on with the Rams?
Oh, they're dead.
That's the head coach who just got blown up and nobody even stopped to see if he was okay, aside from a couple coaches. The guy that hit him just keeps on fucking jogging on the field, not even oh my God.
Yeah,
like,
I'm so sorry.
Not even one of those guys.
He couldn't have known. He couldn't have known it was the head coach.
If that happens on the field, they're pulling Sean into the blue tent. Hey, are you sure you're okay? I mean, you didn't fall, you didn't drop the ball. You just got hit right on the button that we're talking about. Sean McVay eats it, spits it out, puts the headset back on. Thought his commentating career was in jeopardy.
Sure.
He's allegedly been offered $15 to $20 million to go into the booth, which I think we're going to see a lot sooner than later with how this whole Rams thing is going. Bounces back, calls the rest of the game. Now they lose. They are not good, but he's a tough son of a bitch. I think we all need to start recognizing that a little bit more about McVay.
Can you imagine how fucking sore he is today? He's eating out of a straw for the next week.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, February 3rd, 2023. Hour 2 starts right now. Football! Has the Pro Bowl this weekend, then the Super Bowl next weekend. It is a glorious time to have a Feel Good Friday. Joe Mixon has charges dropped against him. Congrats to Joe. Even though Joe has done heinous things in the past, it does not mean he put a gun in somebody's face the day before the Buffalo Bills playoff game a couple weeks back. The Talks the Table, he is here and looks a little bit different. At Ty Schmidt looking fantastic. And at PMI Mitt taking the place of Boston Connor, who's at home resting, trying to beat the same bug that I had just a couple days ago. We miss you, Connor. We miss you, Dirty. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. Everybody in the back and joining us live from an attic in Ohio. A man who's a college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup champion, an absolute stallion as a COVID survivor and father of 10, AJ Hawk.
AJ!
What's up, AJ?
What's up? Conman went down with the illness.
You heard him yesterday a little bit, you know. Yesterday.
Yeah, he was texting me. I knew he was feeling not great yesterday. Was he already dumping yesterday?
No, could you hear him yesterday? Every time he talked yesterday, I was almost like, come on. And he was like, oh, it's allergies. I'm having allergies or whatever. It's like, I literally just had this, 24 hours ago. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I do believe you have it. No, and he gets the IV. He got the IV done yesterday. And then this morning, I was like, hey, don't come in if you're feeling sick. He's like, oh, I'm feeling good. Don't worry about it. I'm here. And then as soon as he got here, he was like, I'm starting to feel a little something. I'm like, yeah, okay, Connor. Connor's a workhorse, though. That is literally what Connor is. So you kind of got to, pull the reins back on him. He's at home resting, probably sleeping right now. We certainly miss him. We'll see him in Arizona in a couple of days. Are you excited for our big trip, AJ? It's the annual Super Bowl trip.
I know. I can't believe it's already here. For real. Like, it has gone fast, and we're already we'll be out there for a week. It's a long time, so I'm excited.
That's accurate. This has become a yearly celebration, not only for, obviously, the league, but for our show and for our program. I view it that way. I had a blast last year.
It's like a banquet. It's like an end-of-the-year celebration banquet / work trip.
A lot of hard work, this season. Now, work is
relative.
In comparison to, to your point. We'll just elaborate on the relative to. We're not laying bricks.
No.
Okay? My old man was a truck driving mover, long haul truck driver mover. Okay, so you piece together just fucking 2 miserable jobs. Okay, that's what he did for like the first 12 years of my life, I think 10, 12 years of my life, just driving across the country, moving buildings to the other thing on slides and just absolute boom. That's hard work. Being obviously a teacher, a cop, in the military, that's hard work. But a lot has happened this season that we've kind of followed along with. And this Super Bowl week, the Radio Row week, is kind of a celebration of all of it. We get a chance to see everybody. We get a chance to chat with everybody. We have so many guests. I'm super pumped to get out there. I'm going to miss this year, though. This is a hell of a year for us.
What do you mean you're going to miss, what the memories we made leading up to this point?
Yeah, it just went so quick. To your point, everything went so fucking fast this year.
Wait till your kid's born, man. That's like what my son just had his 10th birthday. My daughter's 12. I got 2 kids in double digits. That is weird.
Life's flying, huh?
Yeah, it is. I mean, but hey, that's what do I say? These are the good old days, right?
Hell yeah.
We can't sit there. We don't need to look forward. We don't need to worry about the past. We're living it right now.
Time's flying like those China balloons. Shout out to you, Connor. I did that for you.
Oh, I thought that was an alien thing.
No, see, that's now the NFL being rigged, people.
Conman is losing his mind at home right now.
Yeah, he's pissed that we're not talking about this China balloon. You know what I mean? He is that we haven't brought it up yet. He's probably sleeping right now, so he doesn't even know we haven't brought it up. But if he wakes up and turns the show on, and there's a 7 to 8 minute period where we do not talk about this China balloon that's flying all across America, all willy-nilly, he's going to be furious.
Yeah, put a hole in his TV.
So for the good of Connor, we are going to talk about this. How come this fucker has not been shot down? I don't know enough about enough, but isn't this just... This is Duck Hunter, right? The game?
Yep. Yeah.
But they said, though, what I read recently was this thing got up to 60,000 feet. That's why normal people aren't shooting it down. I mean, it takes...
Shoot an RPG at it.
I mean, you got one of those hanging out in the back? Mm-hmm. You got one in the basement, Ty?
I bet people in Montana do. Take out an elk, a big old elk.
Old Montana or new Montana?
Old Montana.
Couple states.
Bobbly Swaggers shoot that fucking thing.
That thing flies low over some states. There'll be a good chance some people will take it in their own hands, I would imagine.
I would guarantee, as soon as they heard, this balloon's from China, these people trying to steal our... Let that fucker drop down. They're going to the range right now. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me how many feet, if I shoot that against gravity, how high that thing will be able to get on accuracy, and how much do I have to account for potential wind blow and drift? And the world obviously turning at what altitude will I be able to snipe this fucker right through the middle of it, and goddamn, I save United States of America.
That's right.
Because who knows what type of information they're getting. They're just accidentally floating over top of the United States of America. In a time like this, I don't think so. There's a lot of people that feel that way. But I am vastly confused how this is just like, it's just China. That's just China.
It got to Montana before it was made public to us, I guess, right?
Yeah. So where did it come from? Did it come from Antarctica?
Where'd it come from?
It probably came through Canada.
Up over Earth. Because it is round.
Come on, Gump. I thought Gump would take care of this.
I thought there was a second one in Canada.
Gump might have been sleeping, time zone.
True.
I don't know if he sleeps.
60,000 feet. I guess there are some fighter planes that can get up there.
Send fucking TC after this thing.
Yep.
60,000 feet is so high.
Yeah, it is.
This concerns me. that we're not shooting it down? Because it means that we're afraid of the repercussions if we do shoot it down.
Well, see, that is what some people are saying. Oh, we're scared to fucking shoot down a spy balloon? Is that what we're scared? This ain't my country. I assume, no, I have not followed along closely enough with the rhetoric, but I just heard people that I know that believe that way immediately saying that upon that whole thing happened. And on the other side, you hear people saying, there's no way China did this on purpose. They're just going to send a balloon over the United States of America and cause it. That's probably what other people are saying. I would like to say I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it one bit. I don't know what it means. I have no idea what it means. But I know you're not just supposed to be bopping through people's airspace.
No.
Especially if you're not like the best of friends, you know. I don't know if that's what the fuck is going on.
That's not even airspace. That's like altitude, whatever it's called.
Class E
atmosphere.
airspace.
Do we think China just started watching Yellowstone and they just want to see how like the Yellowstone Ranch,
how beautiful it is?
Yeah.
Come on, Nick.
My question is, how did that thing go over Butte, Montana, and nobody fucking shot that thing down?
Well, that's what we're saying. We think it's maybe too high. And
Yeah, 60,000 feet is.
There's no
It's on
way.
you, Mitt. It's time for Mitt to be a hero.
hold on, don't we have all of our planes are out there, right? Area 51's out in that area. All of our
There's a lot of
big
stuff.
Air Force bases are out there. Colorado.
We can get to it. I'm sure we've
That was one of
circled
the
it and looked
concerns.
around. Yeah, we've checked it out. I'm sure.
Our intercontinental missiles. We got a silo near there.
A couple ICBMs.
You think we buzzed the tower a couple times, buzzed the balloon, let them know?
Maybe.
What if we put on the side of it in Chinese, get the fuck out on one of the things that we just buzzed by the balloon or whatever? But I did, my tweet was basically a much different take on why is it here, because why is it here? And how many balloons do we got flying over, and is this what modern technology is? I don't know, but we've been told that all these fucking UFOs that we see, you know, the Tic Tac one that's going fucking however many miles an hour, pulling however many G's it's pulling, the one that just goes into the water, out of the water without causing any splash or having any source of propulsion seemingly, being pulled almost as if it's a gravitational pull forward faster than anything we have without any gas or anything coming out of the back of it. Now, obviously that isn't happening in some people's life. Cool. Just refuse to look at the videos. That's all right with you. Go through your life. I do the same mostly with politics. I stay away from it. I understand that. But we're always told, it's foreign aircraft. It's foreign aircraft. This is what the leading tech foreign
Power
adversary of ours is using, a balloon. This thing ain't going fucking 10,000 miles an hour.
No.
This thing's out of the movie Up, dude.
Yeah.
So enough telling me that is a foreign aircraft that is doing whatever those UFOs are doing in video, and let's get a better answer next time. Because now we know it's complete bullshit, because they are literally a hot air balloon with a goddamn camera on it. So that ain't gonna fly anymore, even though that is seemingly still flying over the United States.
I have a better answer.
Okay.
We talked about it briefly. China said, hey, give us our biggest, dumbest piece of sky spy equipment we have.
Nailed it.
Did not nail it.
Sky spy equipment.
Yeah, that's right.
Sky spy equipment we have. Okay? I mean, we all read the book. Art of War, Sun Tzu. Rest in peace.
He did die.
Make these fucking Americans look up here. What are we doing up here while our fucking pill machine is running over here?
So what you're saying is snowball trick. Oh, look at that snowball. Oh, I've never been in snow before. I'm in a snowball fight. This is fun. There's one coming. Oh, you threw it soft. And then you got a middle finger fastball coming right at their face.
Potentially.
So you're saying that's what this is?
Potentially. That can't be their state-of-art spy equipment up there. I mean,
it's at 60,000 feet.
That's pretty high.
Fucking high.
It's also possible.
I watched Felix Baumgartner jump out of a fucking balloon.
Well, he fell out because he was passed out.
He did.
Remember, he almost got sent to space and died.
How high was he? Where was he?
Very
How
high.
He was at the very top
Stratosphere.
of the
The
stratosphere.
edge of space.
He passed out, right? Didn't he?
Big time.
Like
and
when-
was tumbling end over end. Yeah.
And then he came back to, oh, I guess I made it.
Yeah. Pull your fucking shoot.
What a time.
He was 128,000 feet.
But I don't think he was supposed to be.
I don't know.
I don't think he was supposed to be that high. I think he was supposed to leave at some point, and he chose not to. I believe, or didn't choose not to. He passed out.
Yeah.
Because
Could this be David Blaine?
no, he had that little
Is
fucking.
he strapped to it? Yeah, is he strapped to it?
Could be great.
Maybe we send him up. Honestly,
Yeah.
that might be the go snoop around.
Just like a dart, and he could just fucking. Boop.
This just kind of came out of nowhere, though, didn't it? Yeah. It's like, all right, Russia's fighting Ukraine still, right? Year anniversary was the other day. I saw that
very
on the
much
news.
so, yeah.
Yeah, we're very much involved now, too, I heard.
Oh,
Just learned that.
Felt like tanking.
We're in there.
There's a lot. There's a lot surrounding that whole situation. I don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah, if Connor was here, obviously he would have a full take, I assume, on what you just said. That was that sounded like an alley-oop to Connor, who's not here.
I'm dead serious. I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't now. We've gone this far with it. I'm not sure. Like honestly, I have no clue. Like what's happening.
I haven't looked into it enough. I didn't know that we were as involved as we were involved. I think I found that out in the last 24 hours, and I'm like, oh, okay. So like some real shit's going down. Yeah. And
some people want us involved, and some don't want us involved. I'm guessing that's correct, right? In America,
I think that's probably.
I don't know. I didn't even know we were as involved as we are until very recently.
Yeah.
And
like I said, I'm very ignorant on the situation, so that's why I'm trying to figure it out.
So we won't give a take, and it's not our job to give anybody opinions. Yeah. But when I learned how involved we were, I was like, oh, fuck, we're in there, right? Like we are.
I believe so.
I didn't know that. I had no idea. Like we are.
Sending a lot of supplies.
Lot.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. So then China coming in, what's that all about? Is that a...
Well, it's possible, if I could be frank for a minute, that we
name's
buzzed the aircraft and noticed that John Cena was piloting the craft. We chose not to take military action.
Let's talk about some sports. That's when we ruin it. That's when we can't. We miss you, Connor. That's why we can't go anything. But I guess there is shit happening in the real world. We have to remember that.
That's right.
We do have to remember that.
And at the same time, we also have to not give a fuck about it because there ain't nothing we can do about it.
Bingo.
Nope.
We got the Super Bowl this weekend.
Hell yeah.
Or next week.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Let's focus on that.
We got the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Bingo.
The games, the Pro Bowl games.
Yes.
AJ, did you watch last night? What were your thoughts?
I was unable to watch live. I went back and got to see a good chunk of it. Yeah, I think they're trying. I think it's a good thing they're trying new things.
They explored the space.
I think it's made for kids. That's what it is. It's made for, like, my kids would love watching most of that stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Do we have to keep it as Mickey Mouse? I love the idea. I love the creativity.
Yep.
I like that we are making it a couple night spectacle, Thursday and Sunday. Sunday on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus, ESPN2, Disney, everything, right? Like, hey.
I thought there was stuff. I thought they were doing Friday, Saturday stuff too. No,
I don't think so. Just Thursday, Sunday, because there's practice, I believe, for the 7-on-7 and the other stuff going on happening today. We'll be joined by Peyton Manning in an hour and an hour and 15 minutes live directly after the AFC's practice, I believe.
Let's go.
So can't wait to chat with him about everything and his thoughts on it. I think some of it last night was awesome. Like, I enjoy some, like the quarterback carnival, and I enjoy some of the events. Some of it was real Mickey Mouse, though. Real Mickey Mouse, but I guess that's what you're going to get whenever, to your point, I don't have as many kids as you do. I don't have any kids yet. But, like, to your point, I guess it is just strictly trying to get kids to watch it.
Was last night on ABC as well?
I don't think so. ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Okay.
I believe. I don't know if last night was on ABC.
That would be a reason it would be more Mickey Mouse. They generally tend to clean up network TV a little bit more than just basic cable stuff.
Nobody told me that. I was on Fox for 18 months just fucking letting it fly. That's 100% on me. But
it's never going to get, like, it's never going to be, the games are never going to be, like, risque. They're never going to be like, hey, or can this be on ABC? It's nothing like that.
Yeah, we don't want, like, just...
having Bob for apples and stuff like that, like carnival games.
That's basically what...
That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to be doing that.
It's a very tough task. I feel for them, like, trying to make it where you could not only watch it and tune it, but, like, actually stay with it and stick with it and watch the whole thing. That's what's tough. I know Jimmy Clausen killed it, and you tweeted about it. Yeah.
The last time I saw Jimmy Clausen, we were both at a party together, and Jimmy was having a good time, as was I. But Jimmy Clausen, Matt Leinart being the quarterbacks for the best catch was... upset of the year thus far, 2023.
Yeah.
Upset of the year thus far, seeing Jimmy Clausen. The best catch, I thought whenever they did it live, was pretty good. Created some good content. They did a pre-record with utilizing all of Vegas, both this zip line, I believe that's in...
It's like through downtown LA, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or downtown Vegas.
Fucking Fremont Street or something? No?
Yeah, I think so.
They used the Eiffel Tower, but not the top of the Eiffel Tower. Matt Leinart of Fox throwing the ball. Matt Leinart and Jimmy Clausen being the quarterbacks. Love seeing both of them.
Yeah,
Hey,
for sure.
Jimmy Clausen's alive. Matt Leinart still got it. So that's...
Here we go.
There we go. Pumped about that. think we should have went to the top of the Eiffel Tower. It's Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Also, no need to show his drops. What are we doing? It's pre-records.
Yeah, what's the point?
Are we trying to put the guy over or not, huh?
Why are we doing pre-records? What is the point of that? Like, I can do cool catches if we do a pre-record.
Wow. Yeah, the internet has kind of changed the game. Because Juju Smith-Schuster, we saw him hit a slip and slide, double McTwisty thing.
Yep.
Inside axle, Tony Hawk grab into a pool. And then a couple of his TikTok buddies did something very similar literally immediately afterwards.
And if we're going to do that, the dude perfect guys should be the one throwing the balls to the receiver.
Tyler should have been there.
Oh, why wasn't Tyler there?
Pete.
Now, that's something maybe we change for next year. Maybe we're able to give it. I think they're just trying right now to see what they like, what they don't like. I think everybody wants to see the future of the Pro Bowl matter, and I think this is kind of the first step, the evolution of it all. I enjoyed it. I watched it. I enjoyed it. It was a pastime. There are some things I was like, but it's not for me, I guess, to your point. But I think the Pro Bowl needs to be held in high regard, but it needs to be treated as such if we're looking to do that, AJ.
Yeah, it's I think ultimately you just want to see the guys having fun competing together, and they did. Like, they looked like they were enjoying themselves, and they did compete, and they were having fun. So, yeah, that's the thing. Like, how long can that hold your attention is the question.
Dodgeball, always fun. Had them playing against each other. Didn't understand that at the beginning, but made sense towards the end.
Maybe do dodgeball against, like, get a group of fans that are there that feel like they are all-star dodgeball players and play them against
haters on Twitter.
People.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
That's a good idea.
That'd
That would
nice.
be so fun.
People that have sent tweets about Saquon or Kittle.
Put their handle. They're wearing the handles on their chest of their shirt too.
No, the tweet that they sent on their chest, handle across the back.
We do reporters too when they ask like dumb questions.
So that's going to be tough to get the media to sign up for that. I think they'll do that, but not a bad idea if they want to. But maybe people that are assholes on the internet, their tweets are in front of them. Then they have to take on the Pro Bowlers in dodgeball.
That's a good idea. And that has some legs. And these guys would probably sign up to fucking, there'd be a line of guys wanting to play in that.
Saquon Barkley, pretty quick feet, that guy. His legs.
You don't say, do you?
Dude, his legs are so...
He can't even fit in shorts. Like, his legs are so damn big.
Look at how uncomfortable that has to be. Buying jeans...
Matrix.
Buying jeans and shorts, just a nightmare of an experience for Saquon Barkley. Look at those calves. Look at that thing. Look at his fucking legs, dude. He's about to have another massive year next year, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Running for a bag next
yes.
year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go to some other news. CBS allegedly tried an intervention on Tony Romo.
Man.
Not the boozing intervention, like everybody automatically assumed whenever they read the headline of the video as it was tweeted, but an intervention on him to change the way he approaches the game every single Sunday. Andrew Marchand of the Sports Business Report podcast alongside Andrew Uran.
John.
There it is. Andrew Marchand.
Bingo.
John Uran.
Mm-hmm.
They've been very nice to us. At the beginning, not so much.
Right.
But I think they pay attention to everything.
They do.
And have given us a lot of love over the years. So I appreciate that full circle with Andrew Marchand.
Yep.
Met last year at the Radio Row. That's another thing like Radio Row does. We're able to put kind of humans to things that have been said. CBS Sports execs went down to Dallas last offseason to address their $180 million man Tony Romo slippage. CBS commented on what I termed an intervention. Then this comes from the podcast alongside John Urand, where Andrew Marchand basically laid out the fact that they didn't think he prepared enough. And the further you get away from actually playing, the more you have to prepare because the game changes, the people change, and the things that are taking place on the day-to-day change, and you might forget about some of this stuff. And I think we can all, whenever we listen to Tony Romo, we think to ourselves, he's kind of freewheeling it out there. That's what this show does. So obviously we have respect for that type of action. 50 million people aren't watching this show, and if 50 million people are watching this show, there's a problem, a big-time problem taking place. What are your thoughts on this? And do you think CBS wanted this to get leaked or not get leaked? And do you think Tony Romo potentially, in spite of the CBS people, chose to do less work than he'd done in the past this past season? I don't care if 50 million people are going to have to deal with this. I'm going to let these CBS folks know, don't come to my house. Okay, I'll do my job. You do your job. I'll see you there. How do you think this pans out, and what do you think the ripple effects are of this for the relationship between the two?
Well, I think a big part of it also is the fact that Greg Olsen and Burkhardt kind of have hit the ground running, and people look at them as a primetime crew, and they really like what they've done, and they're going to be doing the Super Bowl. I think it impressed more people. But I wonder if CBS wanted it out. Maybe if they felt like they weren't getting through to Tony and they weren't, then they were okay with it getting out. I don't know if they would be. Is CBS all right and Tony okay with the fact that this guy said it was an intervention? I would imagine that makes it sound way more dramatic.
Well, very dramatic. And also critiquing, that would be CBS critiquing their lead guy who they're paying $180 million on.
Which they should. Like, you should get feedback. Like, that is a hard thing about TV. People need feedback, but they got to go seek it out.
Not
like
publicly, though. Your company that's paying you shouldn't be doing it publicly.
Exactly.
So I don't think so personally. I think the CBS should have his back.
No, 100% of the time. Publicly, they should always have his back.
Everybody's burying Tony. I think just team. This is team thought. Team.
Yep.
I'm a big team. We're a big team. Publicly, the team should have his back. Privately, they should go, hey, a lot of valid points here, though.
Yeah.
Like, So this becoming public, I assume CBS didn't want. What did Tony Romo say, and how did the conversation go?
Yeah, I believe David Burson and Harold Bryant are the two CBS sports executives. I think they went down there. They laid everything out intervention-wise, and he probably said, you know what, boys? Why don't you guys just kiss my nutsack? Okay, you have no idea how low I can stoop. Okay, you think I was bad last year? Wow. Wait till you see me this year.
What are you going to do this year, Tone?
Well, I don't know. How about I have, 5-6 whiskey sours before every game? Maybe fucking eat shit while Jim's trying to tell me questions and just act like I didn't hear him. I'm not going to study. I'm not going to watch any of the games. I don't know. I'll do whatever I want in the booth. How's that? You guys are paying me $180 million. Is that my fault? Or I don't know. Is that your fault? I don't know. Get the fuck out of my house. Well, and then it came out right after, too. I think it was Marshawn said that CBS tried to hire Peyton before they gave Romo the $180 million deal. So it does kind of seem like they have just heard everything everyone's saying, and they're like, you know what? Fuck this guy. Let's try to make it known that we weren't okay with what he was doing, and we kind of tried to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's a CBS trying to babyface on their guy.
Yeah.
This is CBS saying, hey, we understand, we apologize for what's taken place, and maybe we enabled what's taken place. But I would like to be firm in the stance that Tony Romo, if he continues to be Tony Romo, will come back babyface on it. It's kind of how the world is. It's already happened for Diggs.
Yeah.
Diggs is already all the way back on Tony Romo's side. It happens quicker for Tony because I think he's a little bit more, he became a cowboy when he watched one season of Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are things that happen, but it's just a natural cycle to be like, shiny new toy, love it, hate it, and eventually, if you follow wrestling at all or just like this type of thing, like it'll come back full circle. And I wonder if that's what Tony told him or if CBS is even going to allow that to take place.
I've just started treating him like when Connor did the full circle thing, what was that, last week or whatever, I'm kind of on that same path where if you treat him as a comedian and just take it strictly as a comedic performance during a football game, it's really actually kind of nice.
Yeah, if you view everybody as a movie character in the movie that is life, he is certainly an entertaining one. And I don't think it's easy to be a commentator. I don't think it's a forgiving job, but from what I heard, like he's pretty willy-nilly in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Flies in late, leaves quick.
Right.
I was surprised the intervention happened before this season. Was there that much smoke about what he was doing last season? I thought this season when it really kind of the groundswell was like, okay, here we go.
So that means CBS has at least somebody on the internet.
Yep.
Because the internet, I don't want to say the internet normally ahead of things, but the internet normally ahead of things. That's the way it is. Not everything's right, so you kind of got to filter through a lot of shit. But the internet is a focus group. Twitter is a focus group. It should be treated as such. There's always going to be shit bags and things that aren't worthy of being listened to, and people that are looking for negative attention, and people that think saying something terrible to somebody and getting blocked is an act of achievement, and that's always going to take place. But you can normally get a pretty good grip of how people feel about something. If somebody likes something, they're not just going to go out of their way to go tweet about it. If somebody loves something, they're probably going to do that. If somebody hates something, they're probably going to tweet about it. So if it's not that loud, people probably okay with it. But once it gets very loud one way, there's probably a reason and an adjustment to make. Now, when I joined Game Day, it was very loud amongst a group of people that we all know exactly what they look like right now. They are the old whites. That is not all older white people. It is the old whites, which is a group of white people that are old that hate everything. And they are on the internet. They normally kind of hibernate in Facebook worlds, in comment sections, but they did understand what Twitter was, and they've made their way over to Twitter. And they were, I don't want to say pretty loud, but they hated me pretty good. I had to take that in. I had to account for that. Okay, a large portion of the college football community from the South who is older and white, old whites, same group that hated me whenever I go into any new group, certainly still hate me. Let's monitor that as the year goes on. And if I feel like I'm making show worse, let's acknowledge that as well for future decision making. Something can't change your life because of what's being said on there. Can't change your business we're seeing that right now.
Yep.
People are changing their entire business philosophy and everything like that from what they read on Twitter. But you definitely have to account for it. So I think this showcases that CBS has a little bit of a feel of what's potentially being said. They are allegedly trying to get ahead of it. And obviously things change this year. Maybe this will be what Tony needs, though. Maybe Tony will go on and continue to be one of the great commentators like he was the first year he was in the booth and earned that $180 million contract.
Yeah, I mean, just like the NFL, maybe this is cyclical too. He comes in, he was great his first couple of years, starts to stink a little bit, falls off the wagon, gets a nice little reset, reboot. Now he's coming back next year. Tony Romo, best broadcaster out there.
Can we bet on him for comeback commentator of the year?
I mean, I wish we could.
Right now, I wish
Well, he
we
wasn't injured. He just wasn't good.
Oh, that's your big problem with the comeback player of the year.
Big problem.
Tone Diggs has a massive problem with comeback player of the year just being treated as somebody who either stunk or was hurt and then got good at football again. That should strictly be somebody who got hurt and then came back and played better football.
Very
right?
much so. Now, props to Geno Smith. He had a fucking incredible year, but he was not hurt last year, okay? There should be a most improved award, which he should definitely win this year. Comeback player, Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, those should be your guys, okay?
Okay. How about Tony Romo? Got a chance to become comeback commentator of the year if they're going to continue to use the not get hurt, but maybe just not do good? You think he's got a chance to win it
I think
next
he's
year?
fucking probably odds-on favorite.
Hell yeah.
Good luck, Tone. We're pulling for you.
Love
Let's go, Tony.
Tone, you going to work harder this offseason, or?
Yeah, if I work harder, you mean play, a couple more rounds of golf during the week. I mean, CBS made their bed. I'm going to sleep in it. So, once again, they can kiss my nutsack and lick my butthole. Because unless they're going to, pay me less money, I'm going to do the exact same thing next year.
What happened that one day he showed up? He had an actual golf tan from here up. You remember that? His whole they didn't have enough makeup to be able to get his fucking forehead. Every person that's ever golfed in a sunny day has experienced it. And he goes and wins Tahoe. This guy's dialed in on the golf course.
Stud golf.
Yeah, you don't just get there. You got to work at that.
Yeah.
Then he shows up in the booth, fucking white head, tan cheeks, and he's calling the game. And it's like, this dude is living right now, just golfing, doing his thing, kind of freewheeling up there. And then people just kind of, I think, got, hey, we live for this, Tone.
Yeah.
I know, we live for these games. This is our happiness for the next week, and you are the voice and the soundtrack of it. We would appreciate if you would maybe have a little bit of respect for that, I think is where it all started, AJ. I think that's how it all kind of started,
Yeah, you're right. People, they don't want to be distracted from the game, maybe, I guess. They want Tony to add to the game. And he came out of the gate so hot and took the world by storm, predicting plays and all of this stuff, and everyone was losing their mind. And that's hard. That's hard to consistently do that. I think that we're seeing that right now.
I think a lot of fans want him to respect the game as much as they do.
Yeah, I could see that. I also wonder what he and Nance, what their relationship is like. I would imagine it's good, but I don't know.
I would guess that Nance isn't a huge fan of him. Because I think
he does well with him then if he does.
I think Nance is
do great.
True
He's
professional. Yeah, and he's not going to ever show anything.
Because I've actually tried to think about that during the games. I'm like, all right, let's try to get a sense here on if there's any bite here whenever Jim sends it to Tone. If there's any, Tone says something and Jim just lets him die. Because a co-host can let somebody die.
For sure.
If somebody says something that doesn't necessarily make sense. Like Herbie saved me a bunch on game day where I would say something that might not make sense and he would finish my point almost and then go and I'm like, yeah, you know what I meant. Yeah, thank you for doing it. It's like that's part of the teamwork there. Felt like Jim always tried. I think, I feel like there was always that type of thing. Publicly, you can't tell if that's the case.
No, definitely, because I think Jim is like a consummate, like, hey, respect the game. Like, respect my position here. I need to be unbelievable. But I think he is also the kind of guy who, works tirelessly to prepare, make sure he knows his shit. And, like, you could kind of start to tell a little bit in the Bengals-Bills game when Tony was doing, the way side. He did that, and Jim was like, wow, he almost got me to jump. Like, the way he was kind of, like...
Jim had his eyes on Pebble Beach,
Well, exactly, but I mean, joking. It just and you also wondered contract. Tony Jim Nance has been the guy. He's called how many Final Fours? He calls the Masters every year. He's done Super Bowls.
Every golf course.
Yeah, he does all this stuff, and then Tony
he got
comes
re-up
in.
too.
He did, but I still don't know if he's making as much as Romo does.
No.
And I'm not saying those guys pocket watch, but if he's making $18 million, and then you're talking, asking him questions, and he's fucking choking on a mint and not responding to what you're saying, it's like, what the hell is going on here? Like,
so it is fascinating to think about that, because I don't know if media people view it the same way as like professional athletes. And to say I'm a professional athlete would be absurd, but I was in a professional athletic building earning paychecks to be a professional athlete. So every person that makes more money is good for business. Tony Romo coming in there is good for Jim Nance with what he made CBS pay him. Ultimately, I don't know if that's immediately seen by a lot of media types, because there's been some things that I've had to kind of go through. And then the people on the other end are like, if we do that, then I'll have to deal with blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, blah, 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 blah should be pumped that that's happening, because y'all motherfuckers have all the money, and I am showcasing that. Like, that is kind of how this is going. Like, well, that's not how business is done. Well, we're not doing business then. Like, that is just, so you always need those people to potentially do it. But I do remember that being a part of the convo.
Yeah.
When Tony got his deal, Jim saying, I want that Romo money. It's like, oh, Jim saw that, felt that. And I think Andrew Marchand in that same podcast, in that same clip where he was talking about the intervention that CBS did, not for the booze, but for his work ethic towards calling games, he said Nance's team, not Nance, but Nance's team was taking a lot of credit for Tony Romo, saying, hey, Jim is the reason why Tony Romo is Tony Romo. Jim is the reason why Tony Romo is Tony Romo. He said, haven't heard much from the Jim Nance team about Tony Romo's decline and not being, Jim Nance being a part of it. Sounded like Marchand, not that big of a fan of Jim Nance in the clip that I heard, and they're going to have to deal with that. I'm not getting involved in either of those. I like both those dudes, so I'm staying out of it. But it is all fascinating how the money can either affect people in two different ways. You either get jealous or you get excited about it because now you know what's available. And I think it's all just like situational. You know what I mean, AJ?
Yeah, it's how you look at it. You're right. Nance, he got he re-upped right after Tony re-upped. Is that what happened?
I think it was like a year later.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, either way, yeah, it's he got whatever his contract is. He seems like he got a bump because he and Tony were the number one crew and they were doing great. So yeah, he's a big part of that. I understand him doing that. I don't know anything about Jim Nance. I don't think I've ever met him, or I barely know Tony at all. But I know in the world of broadcasting and media, just like the world of professional athletes, like there's a ton of egos all over the place as well. So I'm not saying Nance is like that or Tony or anything, but I just know like as a whole, there's a bunch of ego and there's a bunch of like, oh, how's this guy get that game? And I got to call this garbage game. Like that happens all the time.
Yeah, the amount of people that have talked shit about me and what I've been able to do, and then they're talking shit about me to people that I'm friends with, and those people are immediately telling me,
People are jealous and insecure. It's just like everything else in the world. It all happens, but it's public, I guess, so people see it more.
Yeah, and believe me, I got like 27 death threats whenever I was fucking 20. Like, I am hardened. I'm cool with it. But every single time I was told that, I'm like, can you tell them, like, this is good for you? Like, hey, this is good news. This is not bad news. And it's always like, they would never understand. You don't get it, what these people are like. And I'm like, I don't. I don't. Yeah. You're right. I don't get what these people are like. Because if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if Nance is really a diva. I don't think that's. But there were also reports that at the end of him and Phil Simms together, that Nance soured on Phil Simms big time, and it was kind of like the same thing. Like,
could see how that could happen.
For sure. So you wonder if it's like,
not with those two, just in general.
Yeah, exactly.
People working together, you could see how, like any relationship, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick,
right?
Mike McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers. Anytime you have two people that are great at what they do working together, there's a chance that the novelty is going to wear off at some point, AJ.
Absolutely. And when they're both being judged publicly by all these people that watch the games too, like that plays a role in all of that as well. So there's a lot of different dynamics going on here, especially when you get these big time contracts and big time money. Yeah, it amplifies everything.
Yeah. What we need to know is if you can get money from people that have a bunch of money,
go get it.
Get the money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I said it yesterday, and it's worthy of repeating. It must be fantastic to come from a place, and I'm hoping that my kids will be able to do this, where it's like, oh, I pick and choose if I receive generational wealth changes,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how much? No, thank you. No, thank you. We do not understand each other, though, because I do not come from that place. So I think what we all need to know is those who have the money, if we're working in a field, we should be trying to take and get them obviously got to earn it, not just going to if we can get that money out of it, let's do that, and let's continue to do that. And we hope Tony Romo has the capability to buy back in, do his thing, because obviously he has the opportunity to be great, and he also, I think, has the ability to be fucking great. The guy's incredible at basketball, incredible at golf, incredible at football. Whenever we heard him, whenever he was in his zone, in his bag, doing commentating, he was unbelievable. Has the capability to be great at almost anything, I'd assume. Let's hope he invests some more time, and maybe this offseason is the time when he chooses to do that.
And that's why, CBS really doesn't have anyone to blame but themselves. So it's like, if you're a person who watches the games and hates Tony Romo, like, CBS was the one who, after two, good or great years, they chose to give him that massive contract. So it's like, you can't really fault him for accepting it. He's say whatever you want about him. He enjoys himself when he's in the booth. Like, he has fun doing it. He does it his way. Wow. Hey, I might say whatever the hell I want. These games are 3-4 hours. It's a long time. You got to make them entertaining and fun. You know what I mean? Like, he does it his way, and he is different than anyone else. So, in terms of that, I guess you have to respect it.
Hell of a golfer, AJ. Fucking hell of a golfer.
Yeah, the dude, he prepares like a pro golfer. I think he plays like 8-10 hours, has coaches, all that stuff.
Which a lot of people are saying, hey, you're making $18 million a year. Why don't we spend that time fucking maybe learning the NFL of today?
Well, he could still play golf every day, but only play for like 5 hours and then go do. Then you could prep, I guess.
Get in the film room, Tony. Get in the film room.
That's all. Don't watch highlights.
Get in the film room.
I want to see what he's like next year. I want to see his first game back. Is he going to be all buttoned up and have a different voice and everything? Be weird?
I don't know. I think so.
He'll be Tony. Tony will be Tony. I don't think Tony's bothered by all this. I don't think he lives on the internet. I don't think he's too worried about it.
Well, obviously, CBS flies in, allegedly, and he goes,
yeah. Why don't you guys get the fuck out of my house?
Golf coach.
Yeah.
Golf coach is coming over.
Yeah. Guys, I actually got to hit the driving range. Why don't you get the fuck out of my house? How's that sound? He's also going to steal the show with his Super Bowl commercial, which might get a lot of people back on his side.
What is it for?
Yeah. Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, it is a Caddyshack spoof, and it is good.
And the first 20 seconds that we saw on the internet,
Is this the one with Serena and other people in it?
I don't know.
I don't think Serena's going to be in this one.
Yeah, they said it's coming again, like February 12th. They were hyping their Super Bowl commercial. It was a spoof on Caddyshack.
Okay.
Michelob Ultra?
Yeah.
Then she might be.
Okay. And if she is, this might be one of the greatest concepts in.
They said Bushwood's opening back up. Bushwood's opening back up is what the commercial said.
Okay, then I would assume so.
Tony buying in full thespian.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Into Caddyshack.
Oh, you saw it?
He is a good thespian.
Yeah.
Saw like 50. It's in the group. It got sent in the.
Okay.
Literally, as soon as it got sent in the group, I think my response was yes.
Yep, this is unbelievable.
Yes, this is.
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, you are. You're going to be in on it. You are 100% going to be in on it. Let's talk about some more stuff going on. Vic Fangio obviously signed with the Dolphins yesterday, 3-year deal worth more than $4.5 million a year. This is Ross, the owner, saying we need to invest in another probably top candidate, head coaching type candidate, and also take a lot off the plate of McDaniel. Let Vic just kind of be the head coach almost of the defensive side of the ball. McDaniel be the head coach of the offensive side of the ball. And hopefully the end of the year drought that we experienced. Now, Tua got out of concussion after 39 days, concussion protocol after 39 days. Congrats to him. I believe we're potentially talking to him next week. Not 100% sure. Excited for that convo. He will be at Radio Row. I think we're making it into his schedule, which is fantastic news. But this is a good hire. I think this is a great hire. And that team, if the offense can continue, this is the first year in McDaniel's offense. First year Tyreek Hill's there. Just how prolific they were at the beginning. They were the team. They were the story. This is Miami's back. Gumpy was grinning like the butcher's dog.
Yes, he was.
Waking up 6 to midnight as soon as he saw anything Dolphins. I mean, it was the time. Now you bring in, not that McDaniel needed it, and I don't want to make this look like McDaniel was a child or anything like that, but you're bringing another adult into the room, Vic Fangio. Not that the previous DC wasn't, but you get it. This guy, former head coach, obviously long-time established defensive mind. This is a good hire. They're going to have to pay people like that. $4.5 million a year for an assistant coach job. Feels like Fangio won here.
Yeah, I'd say he was the belle of the ball, as they say, right? People, like a lot of different teams wanted him. Now he runs like a specific 3-4 defense that you need to hopefully have the right players, and I think Miami obviously would not have brought him in if they felt like they didn't have the right roster for him. But talk to anybody that played in one of Fangio's defense, and they love the dude. Like it can take a minute to get everything down and figure everything out, but they all love the dude and think he's a genius.
And I mean, they did just trade and pay for Bradley Chubb, so
yeah,
he's getting reunited with Vic Fangio. I mean, Fangio probably loved him. He drafted him very high.
Good news.
Yeah, I mean.
And on the flip side, Vic Fangio was potentially going to the Niners.
Yeah.
Steve Wilkes, former interim head coach of the Carolina Panthers, obviously beloved by his players, will be interviewing for the D.C. job with the San Francisco 49ers after DeMeco Ryans heads to the Houston Texans to become their head coach. This is via Ian Rappaport. Atta-baby, Ian. Ian getting this news. Steve Wilkes' defense will bode well with the San Francisco 49ers defense and personnel. AJ Hawk, do you know?
Yeah, I think any defense goes well with the roster they have on the defensive side of the ball. Now, but I do not know who they may be losing to free agency or whatever. Do we know how many guys they may lose off that defense? Because they have studs everywhere you look.
I don't know. The way George Kittle talked about the offense side, he said everybody's back pretty much, except for Christian McCaffrey, who's up.
And I would imagine they're going to do whatever they can to re-sign him.
And what does that mean? Does that mean long-term deal? Does that mean a couple-year deal? What does that mean for them? Tone's looking it up right now.
Jimmy Ward's a free agent. Manuel Mosley, who's the corner who got hurt. Other than that, I think they're all right.
Prime for another run if a quarterback can stay healthy. Who's the quarterback? We shall see. Will it be a vet like Derek Carr, who balled out last night, AJ? There's a guy that climbed my trade for him board last night quickly. Not only because he slang that pill incredibly, hitting targets and beating everybody and getting a win for the AFC, who's currently up 9-3. Each one of these events was worth 3 points. There was 4 events, including dodgeball, water balloon toss, jugs catch, quarterback carousel. 9-3. Long drive, so it must be more than that. That'd be 5.
Interesting.
See, I like this kind of stuff. I still wish they were driving the golf carts, but I like this.
Yeah. Some of those clips felt like some of those golf carts were working with some of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Some are flying by. Some are in rabbit. Some are just in old turtle.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Going at different speeds. I was at one where it broke down. I was at the
mid-round?
The ESPN Skills Challenge whenever I was coming out of college. It was the day after the Senior Bowl in Mobile. I've told the story. I missed the flight out of Mobile to Orlando to do the skills challenge. I get there, obviously trying to catch up with all the rules and everything, and the golf cart broke down in the middle of it. It was awesome. Just sat there right in the middle. The one quarterback that was up was just pegging it, boom, 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 boom. Because that's what competitive people do, and I think that's what you got to see out of the Pro Bowl games last night. Competitive juices fly. Like in the middle of that dodgeball, they were tweaking the rules, cheating the rules. There was once only 2 balls available for a certain stage of dodgeball. Ended up being 6 in there because all the teammates were just kicking them in. Hey. Like that's what you're going to get whenever you get some of the most competitive dudes on earth competing in different things. I enjoyed it, but Derek Carr, throwing the ball, and then the way he handled it afterwards. I don't know if you've heard the video yet or the interview. Here's Derek Carr after putting on a show and lighting up the quarterback carnival last night to win one for the AFC.
On fire. Have you ever been that hot in Las Vegas?
Not that hot. It's probably why I'm going somewhere else.
Get it? Hey, you get it. Great question by Ryan Clark. The NFL Live crew was all over that thing last night. All over it on the ground. Dan Orlovsky was at a driving range. Ryan Clark had a microphone. Swagoo, RG3, Laura, and Mina was there.
Yep.
Mina was not initially marketed to be there. The NFL Live crew was running rampant all over it. Good to see them out there. But did you like that at Derek Carr? I loved it. I love the fact that he addressed it, AJ.
Yeah, I'd like it. I think it's good. He's handling it the right way. He's not hiding from it. He's not running. And all I could think of, though, whenever I hear him speak, is Ty doing his post-game presser.
Which
from the,
I'm happy
week that was.
I'm happy we saw this instead of that because a lot of people were judging him strictly off of that, and then also him kind of getting kicked out of the building towards the end. Wild series of events for him. I think last night was a great one. Excited to see what Sunday brings. Let's get to a break. On the other side of this break, we'll have Shams Charania, who just broke some massive NBA news.
Ooh.
Don't want to break it right now because what would be the purpose of having Shams on in 4 minutes? It's certainly on the internet, though, right now, very loud. We'll have Shams Charania, FanDuel TV, Stadium and Athletic Insider, NBA Stallion, an incredibly handsome guy who is the Riz God.
He is the Riz God, yes.
Hell yeah. Charisma God.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shams Charania on the other side. Then Pat Williams will join us. He's the first-year chairman of the Waste Management Tournament. He'll join us at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. Then Peyton Manning will join us around 2:45 as the AFC practice. Real busy final hour. I'm going to go to the bathroom. You should do the same. Be a friend, tell a friend. Take 5.
I feel really good. Like my body feels fresh, my mind clear. Like I'm gonna go do it tonight, I think, you know? Like I'm gonna go do it.
77,899 people going bananas. I thought I wouldn't be able to sleep last night. I thought that I'd wake up with high anxiety. That is not the case at all. I am so ready to get out there and do what I was put on this earth to do. I'll be walking out of that thing all.
This is a big night because 11 years ago tonight, I had my match with Jerry Lawler at WrestleMania.
Come on!
Broadcast colleagues, same night, 11 years apart, could become the first undefeated broadcast team in the history of WWE wrestling.
Not could. We will become.
Only two superstars have actually commentated on the same WrestleMania that they had a match on. Pat McAfee joins that club tonight.
Pontius is in and Party Boy's here. Pontius is here. Party Boy is in WrestleMania. Pontius' cheeks are out in WrestleMania. Now he's putting that thing up on Sami Zayn.
I would like to say that that's the first time I've seen Pontius' ass, but that is not the case.
Hey, look it. Weeman's here. Punches and bunches from Weeman. Weeman's so angry. Oh, look at this. Body slam. Weeman, body slam. Sami Zayn. Weeman used to kick himself in the face. Are you kidding me? Now he's body slamming Sami Zayn.
You know, I've walked out that ramp into this setting probably 10 million times in my mind. There was a time where every time I walked out of a door, I was acting as if I was walking into a WWE arena. So tonight, whenever I feel that energy, just hoping that I don't have a heart attack immediately. I'm hoping that I don't get too gassed, and I'm hoping I put on a damn good show because I've been thinking about this for 23 years. Let's walk the grill and do this thing, huh? I'm prepared, I'm ready, I'm excited.
Hey, who do you want to see tonight?
I want to see Pat McAfee tonight.
Showboat, he looked Pat McAfee with a right hand at Theory, and Theory stunned early. And now McAfee up over the top. McAfee with a spinning elbow.
Moment of
Theory's in trouble. Hurricane. And McAfee driving Theory right into the announce table. Theory bouncing off the announce table, and Pat
McAfee's beating the hell out of Austin Theory. Kim and Sally McAfee watching their kid beat the hell out of a douchebag. You remember this? Oh, a little payback from Friday night. Get him, Pat. Multitasking. McAfee, McAfee lands on his feet. Austin Theory not sure what to do. Holy moly. Almost sick for the brand. And so is this. Superplex. The finishing maneuver. The A-Town down for Austin Theory. He hits this, it's over. McAfee rolls him up. Shoulders are down. Does he have him? He does. McAfee wins. Yes! Dreams come true! Believe it, Michael! Your broadcast partner has earned himself a WrestleMania moment! I can't believe it! This is absolutely incredible! Yes, Pat! Yes! McMahon gets himself, oh my God, ready to stop it. Oh, from behind! What the hell's going on? Are you kidding me? That gets yourself the spot. McAfee beat his little punk. Oh, yeah, to add insult to
I dreamt of being Steve Austin. I dreamt of being in a building when that glass breaks and all of a sudden the toughest son of a bitch on earth comes out. The fact that I never got to see it as a kid, then I get to watch his last match live, it was awesome.
match at WrestleMania and share the feeling with the top. Austin Stubbs McAfee! I hate to say it, but DTA, Pat.
I got beer in my ears. Like, it feels like I got water in my ears. I got beer in both of my ears. But I just had the incredible opportunity and honor to chug beers with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Have a WrestleMania match that Vince McMahon was a part of. I'm living on cloud 50 right now, dude. This is sweet. What a day, what a dream, what a life. Now I'm gonna have a couple more Steve Weisers. What? Maybe a little whiskey. What? Maybe some carbs, because I've been ketoing for 4 weeks. What?
What? Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Shut the fuck up!
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, February 3rd, 2023. Hour 3 shall start right about now. Football has the Pro Bowl this weekend and the Super Bowl next weekend. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks Tables here looks a little different. At Ty Schmidt, at PMI Mitt, Boston Connor, we miss you. We hope you will feel better. We'll see you on Monday. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. The boys in the back are doing fantastic. And joining us now is a man that just rattled the entire NBA universe. He's the Riz God. because all he does is say incredibly, handsomely, smoothly delivered lines when he joins Kay Adams on Up and Adams on FanDuel TV. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who works for FanDuel, Stadium, and The Athletic, senior NBA insider everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, Shams Charania.
Baby Shams!
Shams, you're
Happy to be back. Happy to be back. I'm sorry I had to interrupt the NFL Super Bowl prelude. I strongly apologize for this.
No, you do not need to apologize. This is what Shams Charania does. He comes in and changes the game. You think you have all the answers, he changes the question. Here we are in the middle of a little bit of a dry time in the NFL, and Shams Charania said, what's that? Oh, that's opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, Shams Charania just reported about 10 minutes ago, Kyrie Irving has officially requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. The franchise has been informed that Irving prefers to move on ahead of the February 9th trade deadline, or will leave in free agency in July. It is February 3rd. Wow. They have 6 days to deal this guy. This is massive news because it involves Kyrie Irving. It involves Kevin Durant, seemingly. It involves the Brooklyn Nets. And it's 6 days before the trade deadline. How did we get here, and what does this mean for Kyrie Irving going forward? Shams Charania.
Yeah, this is really stunning. When you think about what's happened over the last year with Kyrie Irving in the Nets, it doesn't really surprise why it might have gotten here, right? You think about the summer. We talked about Kyrie Irving last season, all year, the vaccine situation that was going on between him and the Nets, him having to stay away from the team, then they bring him back. And then over the summer, they have a contract dispute, are not able to come to an agreement. He opts in, plays out the year, tweets out a link to a movie with anti-Semitic material in it. It gets picked up. The owner tweets about it, shoots it down. He gets suspended after that. He serves an 8-game suspension. And then he comes back, Pat. The last 2 months of this season, he's averaged almost 30 points a game, 6-7 assists, 5 rebounds. He's showing again why he's that dude, right? And he's the all-star game starter in the Eastern Conference, so he's back. And what's happened in the last week or so is I'm told they've had contract extension negotiations, and from what I'm told, a contract extension was offered to Irving that had some stipulations in it. And I'm told his side was vehemently against any stipulations in an extension. He believes that he deserved, a fully guaranteed contract. He feels like, a player of his caliber did not deserve or should have stipulations in that deal. And so when you think about everything that happened last summer, you think about this year, there's clearly a principle difference between Irving and the Nets. Whatever his principles are, whatever the Nets' principles are, they just clearly do not align. And I think this is groundbreaking news for the NBA 6 days before the deadline because Kyrie Irving is one of the best players in the league, on one of the best teams in the league. The Nets have gone from outside of the playoff picture, struggled to start the year, under 500. Then they go and win 18 of 20 games. Then KD gets hurt, but they're still treading water. This is a team that's battling for home court advantage. They're competing for a championship. And now their best player has demanded a trade, is expecting to be traded before the trade deadline. Otherwise, he will leave in free agency.
Best current player playing with KD being hurt, obviously, is what you meant, I assume, or no?
I don't even remember what I said. I said he's been. I want to say he's been one of the best players. No.
No, you said their best player. You mean currently playing?
Technically, currently their best player.
Got it.
Kevin Durant's out. Kevin Durant is. Yeah, he's number one.
Okay, good. I didn't know because I haven't been keeping up with the NBA as much. I didn't know if that Kevin Durant thing has changed, and if it has, I was about to go to bat and be like, nope, guy's a dog, always will be a dog, smokes hella dope, love everything about him, can shoot everywhere. So they disrespected him in business negotiations, it sounds like, yes?
Yeah, so they've recently had negotiations, but honestly, Pat, I think this goes deeper than just the contract extension. I think... Listen, if they had come in with a full maximum contract, then, maybe you give it some thought, right? At that point, you're getting your full max deal. Like, how do you say no to that? But I think the fact that whatever offer was made, I'm told, had some stipulations in it, stipulations that he believes he did not deserve and does not deserve. So the entire organization right now, this puts it up in the air. What is this? Where does it leave Kevin Durant?
Yes.
He has 3 years left on a maximum contract extension. Where does this leave him? Does this impact his future trying to get out of Brooklyn? Does he stay in Brooklyn? Do the Nets trade Kyrie Irving? Do they just keep Kyrie Irving and deal with the outcome afterward? What's crazy is this literally happened to the Nets last year. James Harden, it started to come to the surface that they would discuss a deal with the Sixers the Friday before the trade deadline. We're in the same situation here now with Kyrie Irving demanding a trade. and we'll see if the Nets will negotiate a trade. But listen, everyone wants to talk about the Lakers. You know, they're being
where's
very
he
active
going?
in the trade.
Where's Kyrie going?
They're being, I think the Lakers are being very active for a trade, just overall in the marketplace. When you look at Russell Westbrook, you look at their 2 first-round picks. Is that enough for Kyrie Irving? Do the Lakers make that offer? I think that's something that we'll have to track between now and next Thursday.
What was it, last week we saw him go out early in the game against the Lakers, and he saw Russell Westbrook shoot, and he say he knew greatness would be here early, and then he's been talking about LeBron a lot. Is this something that you could have forecasted? Do you think Kyrie knew this was potentially coming if they weren't able to agree on a long-term deal? Because business-wise, for the Nets, if you were to trade him right now, obviously you're sacrificing this year, which has been a year where you're on a run, and we know you just got a call. We assume that's probably Adam Silver or a team telling you that we are going to sign him. But they can get something out of him now, right? As opposed to just losing him in free agency. That's kind of what the Nets have to deal with right now. And if it's not the Lakers, who else could it potentially be, Shams?
Yeah, there were definitely talks on a deal. And there's definitely a world where, listen, everything has been fine over the last 8 months with the Nets. And over the summer, last summer, the Nets had chances to re-sign Kyrie Irving on a deal that was suitable for both sides. They were not able to reach an agreement. And I think now it puts the Nets in a position where they need to determine between now and next Thursday, do they want to keep a guy in Kyrie Irving who does not want to be there, does not want to play there, wants to play somewhere else very clearly, and has, beyond just contractual issues, it seems a very principled issue with that organization, as they might with him. What do they do with him? He's been so productive on the floor over the last 2 months. I think it's a question around the league. What will the Nets do with Kyrie Irving? You trade him now, you can go recoup some assets. You can go to a team like the Lakers, get picks. There are going to be teams out there that are going to go for Kyrie Irving.
Who?
From what I'm told, there are going to be multiple teams involved.
Pacers?
I would not expect the Pacers. I think Tyrese Halliburton is that dude for your Pacers.
Oh, yeah, put them together, yeah. I don't know. They probably play the same position. I have no clue. I haven't seen the Pacers in a long time. No, they lost to LeBron last night, but put up a good fight. Number 0 is a dog. Mitt, who's a Lakers fan, just lost his mind. Actually bruised his dick off the bottom of the desk whenever you said he's potentially going there. AJ has a question for you, Shams.
Shams, do you have any idea like what those stipulations may be that the Nets wanted to put in his contract, and also would a trade partner try to put some stipulations in a contract for Kyrie?
Yeah, I mean, those are negotiations for probably after the trade. Like, let's say he gets traded to a team. That team would then be allowed to, negotiate an extension. Or the Nets, give permission to Kyrie Irving to talk to other teams, discuss extension opportunities. That's probably where we would figure out what exactly, what those teams would be able to offer. But, yeah, the Nets had stipulations as far as guarantees and how much, the deal would be guaranteed in the last year of his deal. Not quite sure exactly the length of the contract, but a multi-year extension was offered to Irving, and there were stipulations in the final year of the deal that clearly didn't make it fully guaranteed.
So, like, the last year will be fully guaranteed if you get, like, the flu vaccine.
That's not what...
Oh, okay.
I think that's like
I just
gotta ask these questions.
No,
I mean those things tend to be, could be games played, could be how far the team goes in the playoffs. It could be, a variety of minutes.
Guys, so just business stuff, basically. Just
not off
business.
the court, like tweeting. It wouldn't be like, hey, you can't. They're trying to muzzle him. That's what I would assume. He thinks, hey, you're trying to like box me in, not let me be me.
Now, things might be said indirectly. That I can't account for. But in an NBA contract, the only things you can stipulate: games played, minutes, stats, how far a team goes, team success. Those are usually the tidbits you can add.
So in our world, if this type of thing was to happen, and I assume there's been situations where it hasn't, but the long-term deal is pretty much already agreed upon when the trade takes place. You said after the trade they'll talk about the long-term deal. That would have to come at the same time, or no? Kyrie's not going somewhere just for the rest of the season, become a free agent, or does that happen in the NBA world?
You're saying does he become a free agent at the end of the season?
Yeah, so like is he going to get traded to a place that there isn't a long-term agreement already understood to be taking place, or is it just like a loaner for a season? Would they do that with Kyrie in the NBA, a player that's at that level?
You would assume the teams that's trading for Kyrie Irving, they're going to want to re-sign him for long term. So whether it's the Lakers or whoever, if you're going to go trade for Kyrie Irving, your goal and your intent is to bring him in for the long term. You could trade for him and then reach an extension agreement, or you can wait for the summertime. That's usually what teams want. But, I mean, the way Kyrie Irving has played over the last 2 months, you would think that there's going to be interest, I think, from teams outside of, maybe even the team that he would be comfortable with, like a team that might feel like he can take them over the top. We'll see if that happens or not.
Who are other than the Lakers? I know you're going to be very busy, and we appreciate you taking time. Boom, right there. You have a lot going on. Yep. Other than the Lakers, who are some potential landing spots you think, Shams?
For right now, the only one I have, that you could look at, and we looked at over the summer. We looked at, this past year. I would assume the Lakers. We'll see how that takes place. But Pat, I'll let you guys know before.
What about Dallas?
Hey, you're the man. You had 21,000 retweets in the first minute of this tweet. What a story. What a get. Incredible work by you, pal. We appreciate the hell out of you. And when you go on
put up Pat numbers right now. That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, you're doing more than that, but you're a Riz god, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't even have time to dive into your game that you're spitting all over television every time you get on there, but we appreciate the hell out of your hard work, pal.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey!
All right.
Lock it up.
So he's
Championship.
gonna look at this fucking.
I know.
AD's back. We're getting Kyrie. LeBron's all the way back. Let's go. Championship. Book it now.
Yeah, Mitt's a full fuckboy. Likes the Cowboys, likes the Lakers.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Big
yeah.
Duke basketball guy.
Actually, no. I texted my dad last night. Picture me at the Lakers game. He texted me back, super pumped. I didn't even know this. My dad's also a Dodgers fan. How hilarious.
Oh, that's
How
shocking.
about this?
Wow.
That is surprising, actually. I didn't know that was the case. Maybe he's just trying to relate to his son here.
Maybe.
How did you become a Lakers fan? Just because they're on TV at night? That's why I was a Lakers fan, because they're the only thing on TV late night when I was growing up.
Shoot, my dad is a Lakers Cowboys fan because he grew up in Montana. They have nothing to watch. They were only watching Magic Johnson and like Troy Aikman at the time, and just kind of circled that. And then when my dad started coaching in the NFL, he kind of stopped really doing that whole
Obviously,
NFL thing.
Yeah, you get
and
paid,
then and then Kobe Bryant was
Stop watching
also
Cowboys
winning
games.
championships. So like he was always watching Kobe Bryant. I would watch Kobe Bryant games with him.
Those late night Kobe Bryant games with Shaq were awesome growing up. Pittsburgh has no NBA team. Shitty baseball team, no NBA team. So it's either hockey or football for, most people. Tone Diggs is a mark for the Pittsburgh Pirates because he played baseball as a child and was very good at it, so he feels obligated like the Pirates. And going to a Pirates game is a good time. But those late-night Lakers, that was – I didn't sleep well, never have, never will. That was awesome to watch and take place, and they were so damn good. It was like their own time slot almost for all of America. I think it created a lot of Lakers fans. And obviously LeBron James just a couple weeks ago put up 40 and was the most miserable human being in an entire arena. Straddled, legs wide open, just exhausted and pissed about what his life has become as a Laker. There was a ball that almost hit him in the face. He didn't even budge, just so fucking over everything. And if they were to bring in Kyrie, does that make him a competitor? Does that make you guys great all of a sudden?
Oh, yeah. Dude, they have no point guard on the team basically at this point.
Russell Westbrook.
I mean, Russell Westbrook doesn't even start. He comes off the bench as a
Austin
point
Reeves.
guard. Austin Reeves is he's not playing right now. He's hurt. So, I mean, LeBron's their point guard. He has no help. Pat Bev missed 2 free throws that would have basically sealed the game last night. Then LeBron's face was absolutely
you got to see it because you were there.
Yeah, it was absolutely hysterical. He looked like the way that you just described. He looked like he was going to cry. And then AD played some amazing defense.
What's he crying about these calls all about?
Because he's getting
He
hacked.
loves drama.
Oh, you guys spinning your narrative. He's getting hacked.
Thank you, man.
He needs to get
You ever
these.
seen
He needs
someone
to get his
react
call.
like that?
Guy needs to get calls
You ever
for
seen someone
once.
react like that?
Dude, that was game winner in Boston. I mean,
know.
that's a
He did
fucking.
get fouled.
And he got what? I mean,
Yeah.
whacked.
It was all game.
The only thing that showed me is he's still in, like still invested.
Very much so.
Very, very much of it. We talked about that with Ken Dorsey when he lost his fucking shit when they lost to the Dolphins at the beginning of the season, and there's people saying he's going to have to carry that around with him forever. That was actually being said. What an embarrassment. What was our reaction? Hey, guys, very
Guy
much
wants to win.
invested. Very much invested in this whole thing. I think a lot of people saw that in Braun whenever he was doing that. It was a lot.
It was.
But he said, I'm watching every game. Nobody else is getting treated like this. Because everybody just says Braun gets all the calls, Braun gets this, Braun gets that. That was very clearly not. Now, Connor, who's a Celtics fan and from Boston, he said, well, are we going to call him taking 7 steps before that layup? Or what all are we going to talk? I'm like, well, it's NBA. Do they even call that? He go, well, do they call that? I don't know. Connor could spin his way out of this whole thing. LeBron very much still invested, and I think he would view his time as a Laker not as successful as every other big star that has been traded for by the Lakers. I learned that from the Shaq documentary that I watched, how this is the Lakers thing. It's almost like a passing of the torch to a star. Hey, you are now in charge of the Lakers franchise. Do well with it. And that's how Shaq viewed it. Obviously, that's how Magic viewed it. That's how
Kobe, for sure.
Kobe definitely viewed it. Before that, though, there was
Kareem.
Yeah. That's
James Worthy.
Yeah, Jerry West.
That's kind of how it's viewed. And I think LeBron, who is obviously somebody that has just loved the game and been immersed by the game his whole life, took that very heavily, and he, some name was not real there. Some name was not real there, I don't think. Foxy's face, okay. He won that bubble championship.
Right.
But other than that, he had the wine year where he's showing up drunk.
Yep.
He let the ball roll out of bounds. And then there's this year where he seemingly just has no help. Other years he has no help. So I think that probably weighs a little heavy on Braun. So bringing in a guy that he was able to win with in the past, who Kyrie has admitted that he wishes he was able to play with Braun now, as opposed to what he was like back then, would be a whole different ballgame. Maybe we'll get to see it. Seems like Shams has no other teams that are even in contention.
This is all part of the script, boys. What date did Kyrie have to get traded by?
February 9th.
Oh, and the next Lakers primetime game against the Bucks is February 9th, the day that LeBron is supposed to break the points record. All part of the script.
And on Michael Jordan Day?
Come on! Let's go.
See, the NBA I could actually see.
Well, Tim Donaghy's come out and said, I ain't the only one. 2. I didn't even touch him. Shooting 2.
Yep.
That has been
We got about 15 more points we need to get. So we got 45 seconds to do that.
Yep.
Bam, shooting 2. You did it.
Hell yeah.
What'd you do? You got fouled.
What are you talking about?
Shoot ball.
You missed. Reshot lane violation. Shoot another one. Bumped him. Saw him. Yeah. Tech, get the ball back.
Yep.
Shooting 2. Yep. Lane violation. Need to shoot that one again. You fucking creeped in there. Look. Watch it. Look at your toe. Thought so. Shooting 2.
Oh, you're talking back attack. Shoot 2 more.
You're ejected. You're good at defense. Get him off the fucking court. You, big foul guy. Need you good. Yep. Shooting 2. That's what fucking basketball is. So I could see how that would be, and Tim Donaghy proved he was. He's done a lot of damage to the NBA.
Yeah.
But
his name had a big week, week this week.
I will watch the NBA though whenever it matters. Sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think everybody would watch if Kyrie and Braun were to get back together, because Kyrie obviously has his own individual way of doing life.
Yep.
I think that's a good way to describe it.
Absolutely.
Perfect. But when he gets that basketball in his hands,
baby.
He said, I think I was listening to
watch.
it. He said he matches up his dribbling with his feet. I think that's something that not a lot of people do. Some people have handles, but his body movement is what he thinks he has over other.
He's a freak. I've seen some of his games recently. They've been on national, they just pop up, and I just watch him, and he is an absolute freak. How he moves, everything is just it's ridiculous.
What did Kevin Durant do?
I have no idea.
Knee or something, I don't know.
I think
I'm saying
You know what sucks is that there's no more Kyries because Nike dropped them. Kyries were some of the best basketball shoes there was.
The Kyries were getting pushed actually the most by Nike.
What shoes did I like? The Greek Freak had some, right?
Yeah. To be honest, they're called the Freaks.
Those ones are comfy.
Yeah.
I think the most comfy.
Paul George had great shoes too.
Those are still good.
KDs and Kyries are legit. That's like a lot of the girls that I coach wear.
Oh, KD has those little under the balls of the feet. It feels like there's like an actual air bubble.
Yep.
I think those are really nice.
The Zooms.
Is that what they're called?
I mean, Zoom Air, yeah.
This dude knows.
He knows everything.
I'll come in with a new pair of shoes that I bought just because I seen them. And then, the Cherry High 11.
Oh my God, Candy Stripe 13.
Dude, the AEIOUs, bro. It's unbelievable. All right, thanks to Shams for joining us there and giving us some breaking news. That's fantastic news out of the NBA world. Doesn't matter, not till after the Super Bowl. But good luck to all parties. Yeah, they're only showing Lakers and LeBron James highlights on ESPN right now.
Go get him. Genie, go get him. Go get him, Genie.
Need to tell Jay
Moore.
Moore.
Go get him.
Come on, Genie.
Need Genie and Jay Moore to get on the horn. Bring Kyrie Irving in. Didn't they make a move recently that Shaq was disgusted by? Yeah, they traded in somebody. He said, I don't know who that motherfucker
Rui
is.
Hachimura, I believe.
He's a dog. He's actually a dog.
Well, what's Shaq talking about?
I don't know. He's a starter. He's their starting 3. They needed him.
Shaq said, if you're not in the top 10, I don't know who you are.
Perfect guy to package to go get Kyrie.
I'm completely fine with that. Package him, package Russ. I don't give a shit.
The collapse is going to be so much sweeter this year.
Oh, you're talking about the Lakers?
Yeah.
Well,
Build those hopes up.
This guy's having a good day.
Don't
Let's let him
do
enjoy.
that.
Hey, congrats,
Don't do
man.
that.
Way to go, man.
Come on.
Hey, congrats, Lakers fans. You know, a lot of people are really happy for you guys all the time because of how good you guys have been and your type of fandom and stuff like that. But it seems like you're about to get an electrifying player back into the building. I can't wait to see his handles over there in the crypto.com center.
Oh, yeah.
That's still Staples.
Well,
no, is it?
No,
Did they take it down?
It's technically crypto as of this year, but
They
it's
still got
Staples.
cash for that? They're going to have to.
They're going to have to change that next year.
So talk to me as if I am a doofus. Everything in that world is done.
I don't know.
That
I don't think so because I just
FTX
saw.
is.
Well, yeah, FTX definitely is, but I recently saw a Bloomberg article that said there was like a brand new crypto startup that just got a whole bunch of money to get going. So they're not letting it die.
Okay, good. So the crypto.com arena, the crypt will still remain.
I mean,
Ah,
Staples.
you don't
I don't know.
know
Dude,
why.
I don't know. You're talking business and crypto.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
yeah.
You
Go
think I
Lakers.
know?
Go Lakers.
Go Lakers.
Go Lakers.
Lakers and shoes.
Joining us now is a man who is a great businessman, I do believe, because last year he was the assistant. This year he is the tournament chairman.
Wow.
Of Waste Management next week out there in Phoenix. We can't thank him enough for joining us and also can't wish him enough luck as the event that is going simultaneously alongside Super Bowl week in the same exact city should be spectacular. Every time you watch it, you think to yourself, that's a cool golf tournament. The man who's in charge of it, ladies and gentlemen, Pat Williams.
Yeah, Patty!
Patty, what's going on, pal?
What an intro. Thank you.
Hey, congratulations on being the chairman. First year.
Hey! Appreciate it. I'm out here right now. You guys see the view?
Yeah, so what is that? That's the, is that 16 there, or what is that?
Yeah, you're looking at 16. So tomorrow night when we kick off our tournament week tomorrow on Saturday. So we turn the venue into a concert venue. We'll have Maroon 5 out here tomorrow night to kick it off in front of a full house, and then we tear it down tomorrow night, and the players will be out here starting Monday.
Maroon 5 is out there tomorrow? I think that's a good play by you, Pat, in your first year as the chairman, getting Adam's sexy-ass Levine out there. Wow. What's the song? What's one of their...
This love has taken its hold on me. She said goodbye too many times before.
That's going to be right out there, the stadium hole. Congrats
right
on that. We can't thank you enough for joining us on this glorious day. We can't wait to come to your city next week, and we hope you do a fantastic job, pal.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited. We've got, obviously, the Phoenix Open's well-attended every year, but with the Super Bowl here, we're going to get people like yourselves out who, have you guys been to the tournament?
No.
Oh. You're coming, right?
Well, I do believe. I think that is the case. Are we?
I think you're coming. We've got a bunch of great things planned. We're going to kick off Wednesday with our Celebrity Pro-Am. And on this same hole, after the Pro-Am, we have what we call the Shot of Glory. It's kind of our opening ceremonies, if you will. And we raise money for charity. And we want you, Pat, to be one of our celebrity hitters. You're going to hit a shot in front of about 20,000 people here on Wednesday.
Okay. Thank you for the invite. I would love to do that. I mean, that'll be a blast. Go ahead.
We want a little action inside on the team. We want AJ to hit a shot, too, if he's going to be out there.
Hey! Yeah, how far you got over there?
Smart. This is good.
That shot for you guys on Wednesday will be about a 125-yard shot. So the pros hit a little farther. You'll hit about 125. The hard part is you're hitting in front of 20,000 people.
Okay, so we got to be able
Nothing you guys can't handle.
Well, we'll see. I've seen videos.
One shot, you get one shot, one ball?
You get one shot. And if you're in the top 3, we'll have about 30 hitters. And if you're in the top 3, we send $15,000 to number 3rd place, charity of choice, 25 for second, and 40 for number 1.
That's amazing. And I heard it's from the Thunderbirds. Is that the organization that runs this whole thing that you're a part of, or what is the Thunderbirds?
Yeah, that's the host organization. We're a volunteer group here in Phoenix, and we've done it for 88 years out here and raised a bunch of money for charity. Put on the tournament.
Hey, we can't wait to meet you. We appreciate the invite. One shot, huh? I was one
No
shot.
breakfast balls? One shot. It's going to be fun. It's easy. There's music. There's entertainment. We'll let you guys. AJ can smoke a cigar. There's a lot of people having fun, and it's all for charity.
Hey, you got it. We
Yeah.
can't thank you enough for the invitation. We can't wait to meet you next week, and good luck the rest of the way as chairman, pal.
Guys, thanks for having me on. We look forward to seeing you next week. Love the show.
Hey, thank you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Williams.
Hey!
I think it was windy there. He's just trying to give us a
almost
shot.
threw
A
up.
little bit breezy there, trying to get us a
That's
shot.
sweet, though.
AJ, 125, baby. I'm taking that P. What's that for you? That's like a 60 for you.
No, I would never use this. I don't like 60s, but I don't know. I mean, whatever clubs they have there, I'm not bringing anything.
Oh, get him back on the
pitching
horn.
Wedge,
Get him
pitching
back on the
wedge or
horn.
sandwich. Yeah. I tell you what, one shot's tough. I watched in the hole-in-one thing in Tahoe. I watched Steph Curry top one 10 feet. I mean, Steph is an unbelievable golfer. Like, it can happen.
Yeah, of course it can happen. I mean,
They got a net for you to hit into before, or is that
small
your
ball,
first?
small ball.
You don't need to warm up.
Small club head.
Are you going to hit off the ground, or are you going to put on a tee? That's the other question.
I don't know. He's back. Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
Hey, do we have clubs?
I'm here.
Do you have clubs out there that we'll be able to? Will we just use somebody's clubs, or how will that work?
No, they'll have clubs for you. I mean, if you have a special request, you let us know. But there's clubs. They've got the whole thing.
Okay, sweet.
You'll be ready to go.
All right, thank you. I didn't. All right, good. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Williams. All right, so we'll just use somebody's clubs. I'm getting that Pete. One shot.
We'll have clubs there.
Should open it up to 2. I think.
Smooth, little smooth pitch and wedge.
Should be 2.
Two would be
That's
nice.
what the Pro-Am did.
Well, that was 3, I think.
Yeah, they got 3.
They got 3.
The hole-in-one challenge over here
thought it was
at
2.
Pebble Beach was 3, but I guess that's why it's called Shot at Glory. Like,
Yeah.
and I bet you the tension is
palpable.
Oh, yeah. They get all juiced up.
We're going to be coming straight from the show at Radio Row,
Mm-hmm.
right over there, straight into the fucking batter's box. Right, welcome to the Thunderdome. I'm going to be so high. Just a little heads up.
Probably good though. Boom, boom.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna look
Arizona,
like a beach
very
ball.
Arizona, very legal over there.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the greatest too legal weed. If you get a chance to travel to Arizona, Montana, another place, great tree. It's legal there. Some of the best that I've ever had. I've got a chance to try like every state almost now at this point. That's legal because can't smoke in Indiana. So anytime I travel, which was weekly there for like 13, 14 months straight. Anytime I ended up in a state where it was legal, it was like, all right, well, before we get there, we need to, and then we'll head over. Arizona has the best laws and I'd say top 2 tree out of the legal places that I've tried. Now, I haven't tried every single strain from every single state, so people attack me for that. But I will be coming in there on Cloud 50. Imagine we fucking hole it, one of us.
Oh my God.
Do we have to make it?
Just
to win
closest,
the money?
closest to the pin, I think.
We don't. I don't. We got to make it. One of us needed to go in. Oh yeah.
Bingo. Why not us?
Yeah, we're pin seeking. We don't care about close to the pin.
What a cool invite.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was pretty sweet.
Just going there will be cool. Just seeing it. I've never seen it.
Remember, we had to act like we hadn't heard it before.
Right. I think you did a pretty good job.
I think we did good.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to think that we are definitely still in on the old NFL conspiracy
Sure.
with how good we played that off.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you know how good of actors players would have to be?
Oh, boy.
Put them right in there next to fucking Leo.
Tell you what, the players have had a good time this week.
Oh, yeah.
Spacey.
Tweeting about it. I've enjoyed that quite
You
a
know
bit.
what?
The fans, the believers still.
Why you got to do that, AJ?
I didn't do anything.
AJ, how much money are you
True.
giving away here? Be like the Thunderbirds.
I'll give away 4 merches
And
10 winners, $500.
Hey!
From a cab, Phil.
Oh, fuck. Put it in there, Phil.
Oh, that was in.
Bang. Oh. Come on. What is it?
Is Mitt gonna shoot? 10 people, 500, and 4 merches.
We got Brucey Fridays coming up at the end of the show.
Let's go.
Oh, it is Friday, isn't it?
4 merches.
10 people, $500.
I thought maybe.
You don't want to up that?
What did you think it was going to be?
See how bad those shots were?
Come on.
4 merches.
Sweeten the pot a bit.
5 golf tops.
Okay, 6 merches.
Whoa.
Okay.
Holy hell.
Getting up
Good
there.
stuff on there.
Ah, fuck.
Bangarang.
Oh. That wasn't enough anyway. 6 marches is not enough.
No. Not even worth it.
End of the hour, we'll change it all.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Bruce.
Got
There we
it.
go.
Oh, no.
Get it?
Oh. Come on. Come on.
Yep. Oh, yeah, one of those go in.
This is it.
Now pump the big ball.
Whoa!
Oh!
Oh!
Ah!
Oh!
Fuck. Yeah!
Oh!
That was one.
All right.
Get it? Get it.
Let's take a break. Peyton Manning will join us on the other side.
Hell yeah.
Could be 3 minutes, could be 5 minutes, could be 6 minutes, could be 7 minutes. Okay. Coming out of a rigorous AFC Pro Bowl practice.
That's right.
Can we chat with him? Congrats to Kyrie Irving, I guess, going to LA.
Sure. That's right.
Hell yeah.
And to you,
Are they
AJ.
contenders?
Huh?
Are they contenders? They're contenders if he goes right away?
I might be his favorite.
AD's back.
Yeah.
They're not in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, dude, they're about to go on a 20-game win streak. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Duh.
Idiot.
Fucking served.
No doy, bro. All right, let's take a break.
Jeez.
Mate, you're the best. It's been great having you out here.
It has been.
Every time you
It
come
is.
out here, you add electricity. I want to let you know that we
Bring a
appreciate
lot of
it.
value.
Thank you.
He definitely brings a lot of value.
Amen. Imagine, like, thank God he's out here for that convo.
Yeah, perfect.
I mean, perfect day for fucking Mitt to be sitting out here.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy right now.
All right, be a friend, tell a friend. Peyton Manning is on the other side. Might be 3, might be 5, might be 6, but it should be quick. Ladies and gentlemen, take Peyton!
The estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes. We thank you for your patience.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Hi, how's it going? My name is Pat McAfee. Used to hold balls for Adam Vinatieri. Now I'm in his home state. College game day is absolutely electric. And Brookings,
College Game Day has made the voyage to Brookings, South Dakota to experience a game with the best fans in college football. I unfortunately cannot attend because I have a game this Sunday, so I sent a man I trust to make my picks. A man who was my holder for almost a decade. Please be nice to him. Welcome this week's celebrity guest picker, Pat McAfee.
Go big, go blue, go Jacks.
Hosting Auburn. Yes, everybody saw this. The best fake punt in the world. What do you think, Pat?
I absolutely loved it all the way up until execution time. That is not one we like to show in the brand headquarters and punting and kicking world.
Oh, dance off. Oh, let's get weird. Yes. Duck that, huh?
Bang! Right off the top of the dome. That makes it a lot easier when you got a dummy standing right in front of you like that.
Running. He's Hayukin! Daniel Russo!
Wax on! Wax off! Knee to the face!
World Series!
Go!
Yes.
Go! Yes!
These teams stick with that 15. They celebrate by doing shotguns, and I'm a big fan of that. I'm going with the University of Virginia Cavaliers. That was great. Whoa! I will never, ever in the history of my life bet against that ball. Oklahoma State is a win here. It doesn't matter. Not so fast again.
But I'm going with Trey.
Please excuse my dumb friend Kirk. Look at this crowd. They've been out here since 4 a.m. College game day comes to town. They lose their mind. The population of this state is about 800,000. And when the Jackrabbits take the field, they're alongside all 800,000 South Dakotans. The Dakota marker was in Fargo for far too long. Today, 5 o'clock local time, the Dakota marker is back in beautiful Brookings, South Dakota. Terry School. They might be the Jackrabbits, but they're the goats today, ladies and gentlemen. South Dakota State with the win.
Give me that right there. No. Don't do that. No. Leave. Coach. He has the no. Pat says it'll be no.
I told you I came on your radio show that we were going to get you on College Game Day.
Not only are you incredibly intelligent and handsome, you're a man of your word. You picked North Dakota today, so I had to bury you.
That's okay.
But it's been nothing but incredible. The College Game Day crew is hospitable. In South Dakota State, I think we can all agree, they showed up here.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I've watched the show, obviously, forever. And it's on in every single NFL locker room. I told you that.
Yeah, cool.
So this is a big-time deal for me, my family, my friends.
All right, I'm back in the day here. Appreciate you, boys.
It's from the training room of the Colts.
A.J. Watt tweeted.
I think it's very hard to process the human being on television.
I get texts from every human that I've ever done television with, like since way back in the day. They're like, we knew this day would come. Equipment managers, old teammates. I mean, you don't get to trend on Twitter often anymore. They make it damn near impossible. Go up onto a stage with a couple legends and talk some shit in front of the incredible South Dakota fans. What an awesome opportunity.
D lineman fumbling after running 50, 60 yards, 46 yards to give the Chargers a first down and the ball back again. This is a tough series. 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter, 17-17. Old buddy striding out. He's going to score a touchdown. No, he's not. His thigh is going to knock the ball out of his hand.
Drops the ball.
See ya.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh,
He was about to get stripped right there, too.
I would like to say to old buddy there, yeah, it looked like there's potential punch coming from the backside regardless. We understand you're a much better athlete than we are. We understand you're better at football than us. We understand at this moment you thought you were scoring a fucking touchdown to beat the Chargers.
Yeah.
With that being said, you can't fumble it with nobody touching it but your forearm.
The best part is, too, he did return it to out of field goal range, but literally the next play, Justin Herbert just right back into field goal range.
And then Cameron Dicker out of the University of Texas kicks his second game winner this year with 2 different teams, in which he has only played for 2 different teams. This guy's fallen into the kicker carousel and has showed up both times, both for the Eagles and for the Chargers. Excited to see what he does going forward. He hit a 64-yard fucking fair catch out of his own end zone right here. Okay, 14-0, end of the second quarter. He's in his own end zone, 64-yard fair catch. A lot of people said, guys shouldn't have fair caught it. Who cares? The returner put his head like this and was like, oh, I probably won't be able to return this. So he gets a fair catch. The ball has to be hit so high and so far to be fair caught. If you get a fair catch over 50 yards, it's great. If you get a 60-yard fair catch, people are like, this dude is a stud. A 64-yard fair catch is fucking demolished. He murders the ball. He has quickly climbed the ranks alongside A.J. Cole of Vegas and Tommy Townsend of the Chiefs of having, like, I think the best punting in the league right now, in the game right now. Guys that can hit balls that nobody else can hit. Camarda started out bad. I think he was rushing. I think he was worried. I think he was trying to get it off too quick. He was in his own head. He has settled in here over like the last 5 weeks. Murders the football.
when you came to my office and told me your plan about retirement, I never thought we'd be sitting there and you'd be the megastar. Sorry for saying that, but it's true that you are, because your show and what you do and the entertainment you provide, is David Letterman type. It's at the very top, and I always knew you had that potential. I knew you were going to go and be a comic and those things, which was great. But man, what you've accomplished, we're so proud of you that you're a Colt alumni player. I mean, you represent.
I'm lucky. You helped me out a lot.
You represent so much about what we're about, and the fans just love you, Pat. So I'm always appreciative when you ask me on, that's for sure.
Well, we're lucky you stopped by. Not only are you a steward for the game, but I feel like the NFL is really the only sport in America where it's city versus city. It rallies everybody together. Doesn't matter your socioeconomic, doesn't matter your political affiliation, doesn't matter your religious affiliation. It brings everybody together. That's why the sport's so incredible. The fact you've been around it for so long, you should take a lot of pride in that. And I'm very lucky to be a Colt. I know Darius says the same thing.
Absolutely.
And once I become a billionaire, we'll have your ass back on, and you can buy me a Rolls Royce.
You're moving there quickly.
Hey, come on, new money, inflation. What's it mean? When are we going to watch that? What is it? What is the show?
It is Max. Shh.
Jude?
It is.
Please.
Max is homesick from school. Quiet.
Oh, Jude. Godspeed.
Yeah, sound very sick.
NFL players won't be the only great thing you'll be able to watch on TV. I cannot say anymore, but perhaps I'll be on it.
Max, what's the name of the show he was on?
Max.
Say it, Max.
Max, what was
Say
the
it,
name
Max.
of the-
Takedown.
Can you?
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you, Max. That was awesome. What is it, something takedown?
Tailgate takedown.
Thank you,
Max. Thank you, Max.
Can't wait to watch that. Connor, your question.
We're going to have a major conversation after this.
If you had sent him away for 6 months this summer, he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Connor, your question for... Welcome back to the program on this Feel Good Friday, February 3rd already. Jeez.
Unbelievable.
2023. Jeez Louise. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks Table's here. Tom Diggs is here. The boys are in the back. And joining us now is the man who had the fastest vote in the history of the Hall of Fame, a man who I was lucky enough to be teammates with, a man that the world was lucky enough to watch play football. And this weekend, you will get to see him coach the AFC Pro Bowl squad. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Omaha Productions, Peyton Manning.
Yeah!
What's up, boss?
Wow. Thanks for that intro, Pat. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing
What's up,
better.
AJ?
I'm doing better than your service, AJ. AJ, look how good this guy looks. Peyton, you're out at the Pro Bowl. Thank you for making time. You have a good lead over Eli right now. What was the message to the boys today at practice, and what are we thinking about going into the flag football games on Sunday?
The message was just finished. Obviously right now is when the players' bar bills begin to add up. Right? That's a lot of food. It's a lot of room service, a lot of, cold beverages. And so the winning team makes more money than the losing team. I went to Tennessee. I'm not that smart, but the math is simple. If we win, we get more money to pay for our hotel bill. That was my message.
Hell yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
There you go, Peyton. On Sunday, what's the plan? Are you going to have like wristbands on your guys with 700 plays like you do for your little son's team that you coach?
Definitely have wristbands, AJ, because the amount of studying that's going to take place by my receivers these next couple of days is going to be limited. So not only do I have wristbands with the plays, I have the actual drawings of the plays on the wristband. So it's literally going to be play 10. Tyreek Hill can look down. He knows exactly what to do. Expect Tyreek Hill to get the ball a lot. There's something about him getting his flag pulled doesn't seem very likely to me. So look for a lot of Tyreek Hill on Sunday.
Well, let's not give away the game plan. It's like Eli's watching. Obviously, Eli is thinking about how he's going to be able to stop that. You guys had a big night last night. You've always been a massive proponent of the Pro Bowl. I remember coming into the league and hearing the stories about it out in Hawaii and at the pool and how everybody's there and it's like this buy-in. And back in the day with the quarterback challenge and with everything that it used to be and how high it was held in regards. And you getting back into it here coaching alongside your brother, and obviously you guys are incredibly entertaining and faces of the NFL, and the Monday Night Manning was awesome. But this feels a little bit deeper to you. I heard you recruiting players to come play in the Pro Bowl. What would it mean to get the Pro Bowl back to what it once was? And do you think that's possible in the modern era right now, Peyton, or no?
Pat, with how we're doing it. Look, the All-Star game and the NBA is coming up, and you heard stories about Bird and Magic, and and Michael and Isaiah Thomas, right? The Major League Baseball All-Star game. A young Willie Mays or Ted Williams playing the All-Star game. It'd be a shame if all the other sports get to have a weekend where the best players in that sport gather in one setting. It'd be a shame if football was the only sport not to have that. It'd be an absolute tragedy. So it's important that the best players in the world are all together in one setting to celebrate their success, their incredible seasons, to talk about how to keep the game strong and to make it better. I can remember the Pro Bowl, Pat, when I watched a LaDainian Tomlinson spend time with a young Adrian Peterson and say, hey, here's how you need to train. Here's how you stay great, right? A Ray Lewis spending time with a young Patrick Willis. I think there's real value in that, and to get away from that would be really a shame. So it's fun now. It's a flag game. Everybody's in a good mood. It's going to be fun. It's going to be high energy. I agreed the tackle game needed to go, but the participation's been great. Obviously, we got injuries. We got guys playing in the Super Bowl. Those are good reasons not to be here, but the guys that are here are fired up.
How about last night? What was your first takeaway? I think they're trying everything right now to kind of keep the Pro Bowl games up and running. I don't think everything's going to survive year to year, but after one night of kind of participating, what were your thoughts?
Well, the dodgeball kind of takes the cake. Just seeing, Double D for the Saints hit Saquon Barkley in the face, right? His own. I can't figure out how my face is supposed to stay on this screen. There we go. To see Saquon being so elusive, right? To see Christian McCaffrey just sort of floating out there with the ball. You see the athleticism. The golf was awesome. To see Jordan Poyer get up there and drill a 320-yard drive with a couple seconds left. So, look, competitors are still going to show up in the key moments. I agree. Certain events might not make it. I thought Derek Carr basically told all of the NFL, bring me on your team. I can still throw. I can play. He's in full tryout mode. That's why I like our chances for the AFC.
Yeah, and Tyler Huntley came out and threw the thing around too. He's hurt a lot of people. You got a lot of chips on shoulders over there, and the roster might bode well for the flag football on Sunday that me and Herbie will be calling. Can't thank you enough for joining us. Enjoy your bar bills, pal, and let's get a dub.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks, AJ.
You got it, ladies and gentlemen, Peyton Manning.
Peyton.
Yeah, he used to be like the mayor of the Pro Bowl, I think is what people used to call.
It's called the mayor, so it makes sense that he would be running the Pro Bowl as well.
Sheriff. It's called sheriff.
Well, yeah. I'm thinking Sean Casey.
He is the mayor.
Now
he is the mayor.
I'm always, Sean Casey. I'm a big Sean Casey guy.
Always on the brain.
He's always on the tip of the tongue. But I guess he was. I think he took the reins from somebody, and then he, you know what I mean? It was a big deal.
It would make sense, doesn't it? Yeah, it's Peyton Manning. He still has that people see him dang, that's Peyton Manning. Look how not only everyone's first thought is that dude is way bigger than I thought he was when I saw him on TV, and then when you see how cool he is and how funny he is, it makes sense, man. The dude's awesome.
Yeah, hearing the stories of what the Pro Bowl used to be like when it was in Hawaii, and it was kind of, something that everybody appreciated. And a lot of people blame just the players, but the NFL kind of knocked it down a few slots too when they decided to not spend as much money on it and invest in it and do things like that. I think Peyton getting back in there, and the ratings are always high.
Yeah.
The ratings are always so high and so
NFL football.
Yeah, so I don't want to say that the NFL maybe was these people will watch
whatever,
anything. But goddamn, you get this stuff back. Imagine Patrick Mahomes and Joey Burrow battling at this. Now, both of them want to be in the Super Bowl and will probably be in the Super Bowl for the next 20 years or whatever, alongside Josh Allen from the AFC side. But those quarterback challenges back in the day, and those skills contests back in the day, and the bench press back in the day, and everything back in the day that you watched, it was I want to make the Pro Bowl. This is where all the greats are around. Then you start hearing about what he was talking about there, about the game that is shared and the friendships that are built and the camaraderie that is kind of amongst the elite of the elite that make it into the NFL. It's that's something special that I hope they're able to find again, because I hope this isn't toothpaste out of the bottle already type thing.
Yeah, because it'll obviously never go back to how it was, but I remember, when I was younger, it was an actual game. You know, like guys did not treat it like an all-star game. You know, it was a fucking another game on the schedule. Guys getting blown up, and then obviously Peyton, you know, has the seminal moment of the Pro Bowl when he called Mike Vanderjagt, our idiot kicker, getting liquored up. Watched that this morning. Forgot how funny and awesome that was, but like shit Amazing. Like that, like it really was. Like there. You wanted to tune in and watch the Pro Bowl, and granted, it was after the Super Bowl, so it was kind of like that one last taste of the NFL before like a long winter of not having it. But shit, I mean, there was reason to watch the game. Like the guys did care about it.
Peyton talking about how every other sport has all their greatest players in the same place for the weekend. Why would the NFL not have that? It's like, that's right. I hope we get back into it. Now, I turned down my... Hey, would you like to go to the Pro Bowl? No, actually. It's a $250,000 bonus in your contract, and in the contract technically says you have to play in it. No, I'm not doing that shit again. I'd rather just go live my life. That was when I retired or whatever, and Jim still paid me, which I'm very grateful for. I think AFC won that game, so it would have been another like $60,000 or whatever for the winning team. But it has become something that's very easily skippable, I think, for a lot of big-name players because of how it's been treated. Hopefully that will be changed. Now, it is time to wrap up this week in the only way that we know how.
That's right.
It is time for old blue-collar Bruce.
Hell yeah. Hey, Bruce Bruce, if you want, he can have my shot at the waste management deal if he wants it.
Start spreading the news. Brucey's putting today. Throwing today. What do you want to do? Okay.
All right. Like that.
Are you throwing into the net or in the hoop? The hoop. Hardest shot in the Thunderdome. Brucey Branovich for this Feel Good Friday to wrap up with some winners because I wasn't able to do it in the last hour. If Bruce is able to make this, AJ Hawk will give 10 merches. I'll give 10 people $500 who retweet this thing and say something nice to somebody and put their cash tag in the same reply so we can pay you officially on Cash App. Make it 15 $500 winners. If you can make this and they retweet it. Let's go, Bruce Branovich, for the good of the Pro Bowl, for the good of the NFL, for the good of the Feel Good Friday, February 3rd, 2023. Starts.
You're online. I know you can't hear me, but it's good. He's online.
AJ said you can't hear him, but you're online. Mm-hmm. You're online. You're on the right line. Start spreading the news.
Oh. He's dialed.
Let's go, Bruce.
Come on, Brucey.
Put it in the hoop, Bruce. Oh, my. Bruce, if you make this, 20 people, $500. Retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put their cash tag in the same reply so we can pay them officially on Cash App. Bruce Branovich, start spreading.
That was a good ball.
That was beautiful. That was your best throw.
Yeah.
Nice touch.
That was your absolute best throw. There's 2 more balls down there and a rugby ball if you need to get, a little bit silly at the end.
Yep.
You're trying to guide it.
Fucking
just let it fly.
Fire that pigskin.
Look and throw, Bruce.
Come on.
You got it.
20 people. $500 to retweet this video. Say something nice to somebody. And put the cash tag in the same reply so we can pay them. Rugby ball.
Tell him not to put his hands on his waist and be so
AJ said your body language is despicable.
Yeah, terrible.
Your body language is your resume, Bruce.
Your body language is your resume, Bruce, and your resume is shit right now, is what he said. That's not your fault, though. You were upset. You wanted to win 20 people $500.
How you throwing this thing?
What are you doing? Are you going to
kick it?
If you do that, 25 who win $500 who retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put their cash tag in the same reply so we can pay them officially on Cash App. What?
Oh.
That was a great throw.
Yeah.
All right, down to the putting green.
Yeah. Can we do a kickflip or something?
Let's hope we don't have to get there.
Yeah.
But we are not going to have Mitt potentially break his leg again, so we have to hear him crutch around this goddamn thing. 3 months. There's a package. We're happy you're healthy, Mitt. Happy you're healthy, and congrats on getting Kyrie Irving. AJ, what are you giving away if Bruce can make a putt here?
Well, what are we at? Where are we at now on the giveaway?
We're not doing 25 for this. He made this on the first one. If he would have made that rugby toss, that would have been a fucking...
first time.
Good thing is Bruce is the one that gets to go through it, right, and dole it all out through the Cash App.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's say 6 merches and 11 people $500.
6 merches, 11 people, $500 who retweet this video and say something nice to somebody. In that same reply, put your cash tag as we pay you officially on Cash App if Bruce can make this putt from 9 feet.
Oh, no.
Wow. Walking it in. Walking it in.
Wow. Hit a missile and tried walking it in.
Oh, I wanted the walk in.
French lick and then hit the pole.
Oh, no.
Very good. Aggressive. That was a great aggressive attempt, though. I like the aggressive stroke.
Bruce, I love the confidence. I love everything about it. 6 merches, 11 people who win $500 if Bruce Branovich can make this putt.
Shaking like a leaf.
It's all right. He's got his Otani New Balances.
Yep.
Lining up from about 8 feet here.
The Adidas track pants.
In a smooth putter swing. What a fucking performance.
Well done.
Bruce Branovich wins 6 people some merches, 11 people $500. All you have to do is retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put your cash tag in the same reply so we can pay you officially on Cash App. Congrats, Bruce. Way to go, pal.
Good stroke.
Thank you, Bruce. That was amazing. And thank you, boys, for the incredible week. Way to sit in here. We miss you, Connor. We'll see you soon, Dirty. See everybody on Monday. Big shout-out to Sham Sharania, Pat Williams, and Peyton Manning.
Right.
I'll be calling the flag football games on Sunday, live on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus, Disney, and some other channel. There'll be 3 of them, 7 on 7. Excited to see how that whole thing goes. Then we'll be live at Radio Row on Overreaction Monday. You all are the best people on earth. Thank you for allowing us to do this for a living. Yesterday was 6 years since I retired. We'll continue to do this for as long as you will have us. Thank you so much for allowing the dumbest operation to ever exist to kind of survive and thrive while we just focus on the dumb sports landscape. AJ, anything to say to the beautiful people that watch every single day?
I think you said it well, but I'm excited for next week, man. You're right. What you said when I first got on here. It's a fun week. We get to celebrate and talk to some awesome people. So, yeah, it should be a fun week ahead.
Enjoy the season that was. That's what we'll do next week, live from Radio Row in Phoenix. Be a friend, tell a friend. Say something nice to somebody. Goodbye.